Hello everyone and welcome to ALR, and we are here for the Formula 1 World Championship of Gold, and we're in the jewel of the crown of Formula 1, and of course that is the Monaco Grand Prix, and this is going to be a cracker, isn't it? I think it's been on the calendar in every single season apart from two now, isn't it? Yeah, unfortunately we're now in the Monaco Grand Prix this year, which is such a shame because yeah, it might be a bit of a bore fest sometimes, but overall I think it's a cracking experience, isn't it, to have the Monaco Grand Prix. Qualifying is amazing, isn't it? Saturday qualifying in Monaco is absolutely fantastic, and that is what we're going to be seeing first, is of course qualifying, and this is a very important place to get pole position. That is a fact indeed. Then but before we do talk about qualifying in the race, then we need to just talk about the track layout then, and it is 2.0 miles. This is, I think, in terms of length, this is actually the shortest track, isn't it? But of course the lap time is a 1:14.2 there, which was actually set by Danny Ricciardo back in 2018 there, which is actually on the screen as well, so don't know what I was struggling with there. In the actual world of ALR, our lap record is actually 3 seconds quicker than that. That was set by Venstra back on season 1. Goodness me, that was a very long time ago. We're going to get some more lap records being broken, which they've already been broken already this season. They've been absolutely amazing, haven't they? The times this season's been incredible. These cars are monstrous to drive, and I'm sure we're going to get something incredible here today then, and it's going to be very monstrous indeed. Let's quickly go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we, just before we get going. And it is Eat the Cookie then who has extended his lead after, talking of monstrous, there was a monstrous drive from Cookie. He absolutely destroyed the opposition in Spain, didn't he? He's now 43 points of the double world champion. Grant, who is second, who's moved in front of Lights, who's had his strongest start to the season in ALR. Fantastic stuff from Lights then. P's in fourth position. Remember, this is debut this season for P's. He's been absolutely incredible, hasn't he, since the get-go. He is only I think he's only a point beyond Young Lights. Indeed he is there, almost making it into the top three. Emerson, we've gone from amazing for Lights and P's to absolutely appalling start for Emerson, hasn't he? He's had a difficult start this season, which isn't very good at all, is it? Emerson's only been on the podium once so far this season. He is 12 points behind at total P's and 68 points off the driver's lead as well. Goodness me. Alhan, I think he's impressed me so far this season. He is in 6th position so far, and he's moved up 3 positions as well. Murphy, who is missing tonight, he was also at 2 positions after last week's drive in Spain. Dropped Fastrom down 2 positions. Milan moving up a position, and Fireshot, who had a very good strong start to the season. Unfortunately, it's not gone too well for him recently, has it? So can Fireshot get back on the horse, so to speak then? No other big movers in the Drivers' Championship. In the relegation zone is still Mumford, Sammy and Laggy Racer, and today is the day usually where the lower runner drivers usually get some good points on the board, and Sam's an expert around here, so let's see what Sam can do as well. Remember, Sam made his debut back in season 2, I think, here, and he's gone from strength to strength, hasn't he, in ALR? He's been absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, this season hasn't been too good for Sam so far. In the constructors, we got Red Bull leading on 21 points, but that gap keeps getting halved and halved and halved. Now Williams are definitely within range there of taking the lead in the constructors. They are second at the moment. AlphaTauri, though, got a very strong lineup, haven't they, with Eat the Cookie and also Titch as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there for the AlphaTauri team, and they've moved up into 3rd position as well. Racing Point are very close as well. They are 4th at the moment. Renault are down 1 position, they're down to 5th. Ferrari are down 3 positions, they've dropped like a stone recently. Mercedes has moved up to 7th and swapping with Haas as well, and also McLaren are now unfortunately at the foot of the table, and I didn't predict that at the beginning of the season, because I got to say, I think McLaren have had a very strong season, haven't they? So just on board then with Milan, of course, Milan has really started to. He had a difficult start to his gold career, hasn't he? He had a DNF, and then he had a DNF, like 2 DNFs in the first 3 rounds. But I got to say, he's had a DNF every other round so far, hasn't he? So unfortunately, if he's carrying on the pattern, he could have a DNF here tonight as well. Every odd numbered event, unfortunately, Milan's not been able to make it to the checkered flag, unfortunately. But when he does finish, he scores some pretty hefty points. He got a podium in China as well. Love to be able to show the shot as well with Milan as well, and we're on board. Milan is invalid his time. You can see that he's got a pink helmet, and I'm sure a lot of drivers will also be paying their tributes to to Anton Hubert, of course, as we returned to Spa, didn't we, in the real world of Formula 1 after that horrific incident in Formula 2, wasn't it, last season, in the 2019 season. Yeah, a lot of drivers will be sporting pink helmets tonight as well. It's a great touch there as well for the drivers. So lovely stuff indeed then. And I think that the tributes actually for Anton Hubert this weekend has been absolutely amazing, haven't they? There's a Renault there. I think that was Emerson there, just getting out of way. Getting out of shot then. Here comes Milan, and he's coming the first man to set a time then, as Rumble comes through Casino Square as well then, before dropping down into Mirabo. Of course, it's an unusual racing line down there, because there's a bit of a bump, isn't there? Because I think it's a junction around there into the Lowe's hairpin, as we got a yellow flag in the swimming pool then. Yeah, so the slowest corner on the Formula 1 calendar, it used to be. I think it still is. But if someone wants to let me know if I am wrong, then please be my guest there. As just watching us, and I think Milan there is slowed down a bit, hasn't he? We're back on board then with Milan. I got confused there because I looked up and there's an AlphaTauri on my screen then, as it come through the sea French chicane as well. Goodness me, how close was that? I remember back in the old days that wasn't a chicane at all, was it? It was it was basically just navigating yourself through the barriers, wasn't it? Alan Prost had a big old smash there in 82 as Milan there, on a bit of a squirrely moment there, wasn't he? The second part of the swimming pool, it has been opened up over the years, hasn't it? Around the swimming pool section is Cookie has gone fast as I didn't even know that. I thought that Milan was the first man. Cookie has done it 09 so far then, so fantastic stuff there for Cookie, really well done indeed then. Granty has done a 10, so he's also finished off his lap, so impressive stuff so far. Farfen is just starting his lap. We've got Sam, who is on the sea French chicane as well, and he's accelerating away, and Sam there in the Haas, and he flicks it through to back. I gotta say, this part of the track here from to back onwards is absolutely exhilarating, isn't it? And look at this, an inch perfect there for Sam. Oh, two, and that's not inch perfect enough there from Sam. He's damaged the wing, and that is he's in the pits then. So that is a shame then. So Sam is the first one to hit the barrier. Emerson's gone at second fast mode. He's usually pretty quick around here. Emerson is, isn't he? Very quick indeed. I think last season he didn't get pole position last season, did he? It was Fisher that got pole position last season, but he had a 5-place grid penalty for some misdemeanors he was doing in qualifying. Lovely purple helmet there for Favre, lovely. Over the show shot with the Ferrari. Unfortunately, Ferrari are dropping down the constructors, don't they? So Farf needs to, Farf and Drofast do need to pick it up then. Drofast is not here tonight, as we said then, so we've got a debut in Troy. If you've watched if you've watched silver or bronze before, you will know about this man. Troy is good as Fireshot is retired from the session. He has retired from the session, and that's it, the sea French chicane, and he has gone into the barrier. We've had so many incidents there over the years, haven't we? Nico Rosberg was one. Oh, it's his teammate there of Jonathan Cox also having a problem as well. Yeah. Of course, we had Rosberg who's had an incident down there, didn't he, back in 2012. I think it was in practice, wasn't it? Or 2011, I should say, apologies. We also had Perez as well, and a big old shunt there as well, didn't he? And he, of course, had to miss the race and the Canadian race a week later, 2 weeks later as well. That was how hefty his shunt was. Of course, Carl Wendlinger having a awful shunt back in 94, wasn't it? And of course, it was a difficult time in Formula 1 in 94, but Carl Wendlinger having a concussion, didn't he? And I don't think he wasn't the same driver, was he, since then. Here comes Alhan, flicking it through to back as well, also sporting a beautiful pink helmet as well. And now into the second part of the swimming pool then. Lovely stuff here then. You can see hopping over the curbs then, and before before it comes into the final part of the lap then, just Anthony Nogues left then. Anthony Nogues then, I think, is actually the man with the brainchild behind now in the race on Monaco, isn't it? You wouldn't get that today, would you? Alhan once again showing that he's got some electric speed, hasn't he, in gold then. I think he's fit into gold absolutely magnificently. Really impressed me. As then Lost Souls then, who's been up and down so far this season as well. Of course, Lost Souls, Alhan all got promoted from silver to gold, and I think that they've been brilliant, haven't they? Jonathan has retired from the session, and that is the same place as his teammate. Goodness me. Not good for the McLaren team. We was talking about McLaren being at the bottom of the constructors, and I think he's turned in too early there, as Jonathan has. Well, that's a shame now for Jonathan, and on his 51st race here in ALR, he is out of qualifying. Of course, he was also out of qualifying a week ago as well, after a horrific shunt in the turn 9 in Spain as well. Troy has invalidated his time, of course, but as I was saying, yeah, Troy is on his debut here tonight in gold, and let's see what he can do. He's a very quick driver, isn't he? Of course, the first Swedish driver to take part in an ALR race, and he has been fantastic, hasn't he? Sam is back out on track as well, going through Casino Square. So I think that might give qualifying a bit of a a bit of a dead rubber here, haven't they? Of course, might have just set a time, but you're basically almost through, aren't you? Well, you are through, really, aren't you? Because all you've got to do is put time on, and that is it. Of course, we are losing 2 cars in this first qualifying session, so we only have 17 drivers in the running. And goodness me, I've been waffling on, and I've been ignoring you guys. Goodness gracious me. As we're just coming down into the seafront chicane, and Sam is at the moment now, and got to see. Oh, I thought he was going into the barrier there. That was very close there for Sam, but it's okay. He's also carrying the number 19 there, of course, which is Anton Hubert's number, and that has been retired permanently now from Formula 2. It was retired for a season, I think, but now it's retired permanently from Formula 2, unfortunately. Well, no, fortunately, I should say, because that is a great tribute, isn't it? Back on board then with Sammy Dennis. He comes across the line in the Haas, and he goes 7th fastest. He's in front of Farf at the moment. Lights on track. Then we've got Troy having a second bite of the chair as well. Lost Souls there is invalidated this time. He's going to have to come into. He's going to have another bite as well, isn't he? So Troy there's just coming through the. That was a lovely slide there at Poitier there from Troy. Love it. Yeah, so Troy, I think, is the only man making his debut tonight. No, I am wrong. It's also KV as well, who's standing for Mumford, who is unfortunately oh goodness me, we've got a bit of lag going on. As unfortunately Mumford has not been able to take part in this race, has he? And that Lights there is up into first at the moment, and pole position then for Young Lights. No, then I apologise, it's not pole position at all. We're not even trying for pole position yet. This is just to get out a qualifying one, but a good benchmark there for Young Lights. 092, lovely stuff indeed. Then Troy is going in front of his teammate as well. He is in 10th position at the moment then. Farmer's going to have another bite of the chair as well. We're on board the Ferrari drive. Both Ferraris are 10th and 11th at the moment. That means that they're safely through. Everyone will be safely through if they set a time then. And just watching Lost Souls there as well. Unfortunately, Lost Souls there was having a good race in Spain, wasn't he? But unfortunately, the two Williamses, because they're so competitive, the Williams team are this season, I feel that they are probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest lineup this season. They've got cracking drivers, haven't they? Unfortunately, Lost Souls in Spain there, he was too close to his teammate, and because of that there, he really didn't benefit didn't benefit well on his strategy, did he? Unfortunately, and he also had a 5-second penalty that really just put pay to his difficult race in Spain. Out of anti-nodes now then for Los Souls. He comes over the line and he goes full fastest there, and underlining his pace. And watching Farf at the moment now, as Farf is well, he's gone on the old part of the track there, hasn't he? As oh goodness me, he's also gone into the barrier as well. Farf is, as he is in no mood, is he, to just not he's in no mood really, is he, to stick to the track limits. They're on board Tichy in the AlphaTauri as well. Tichy's had a good start to his career as well in ALR. Lovely stuff indeed there. Only one DRS zone around this Monaco Grand Prix circuit. Of course, there's nowhere else you can really put the DRS, is it? And of course, the tunnel, apparently, if you put it in the tunnel, it kind of really upsets the airflow, doesn't it? Apparently, as we're just back on board Tichy, going through a Casino Square indeed. And I've got a lot of comments to read. Oh my goodness me, I've missed you all. I've been yapping away there for 7 minutes. I think I need to give you guys a turn, don't I? Jonathan Cox, good evening, Sean. Good evening, Jonathan. I hope you're well. Well, I hope you're well. As well, I hope you're well. But unfortunately, you're not. Your car ain't going to be too well. As both you and Farshar are out qualifying already. Both McLarens are going to be near the back, which is really underlining their difficult start to the season. We've got Gordo saying, "Say whatever you want. I love this circuit." So Blair's there is looking forward to it. We've also got Granty, the champion there, of course, saying hello, husband, and then he's got a sad face. So Tichy has also got to have a sad face as well for invalidating his time. He's also damaged the end plate as well. I blame that. It's always looking down on the old. On the old phone screen. So Tichy comes back in the pits, and at the moment he is safely through though, isn't he? So Exile just needs to get out there and get a time in. We're on board Granty. He is on an outlap at the moment in the Williams I was going to say Williams Renault then, in the Williams Mercedes then, as you can see, coming out of the seafront chicane as well. Yeah, so Granty's not looking at a he's not looking too happy about this circuit moment. But remember last season, I think last season he did a very good job, didn't he? Navigated himself through the chaos and had a very high finishing position. I'm sure he did. Granted, I'm sure he's in the top 4, wasn't he? Emerson saying, evening Sean, racing for Anton tonight, and also Chadwick as well. Of course, that was horrific news yesterday, wasn't it? To wake up to find out that the star of Black Panther is no longer with us. What a shame there. Is only 43 years old and died of cancer. didn't he? What an absolute loss it is to the world. So, yeah. It's a Grant. He has lost his wing. That is not good, then. He has damaged the end plate. He's going to have to come back in the pits, unfortunately. That is going to cause him all kinds of understeer. So, Grant will be back in the pits then. And unfortunately, but he is through then. I wonder if he's just trying to get his eye into this track then as well. There you see Exile there in the Haas just coming out on track as well. Back on board Farfan just over 5 minutes ago in this session. Young Lights, hello guys. Sorry for missing Spain. Went on holiday. No, got to say, no problem at all. Young Lights, of course, that was why Young Lights did drop down the order, wasn't it? Really, and lovely shot. I love this shot from the diffuser. And we are looking out from Far's rear here. It's absolutely beautiful as we're on the side of the rain light as we come into the tunnel as well. Look how bumpy it is. Of course, this is not a permanent racetrack. Far from it. We are racing on the streets of Monaco. It's a special occasion, isn't it, here tonight? And I hope you all have and yeah, I hope everyone has a good race as well. As we got Jonathan saying he's got number 19 for Hubert, and of course hashtag race for Anton, hashtag race for Chadwick as well from Young Lights. And Gordo saying at least you've not got me again, so I won't have the worst performance in ALR history. I think we all know who's got that one, don't we, Gunnar? I'm just joking. Of course, Gunnar did have the most appearances in ALR history, didn't he? Well, gold anyway. I think he has the most appearances in total of ALR, doesn't he? If we combine them all together, but I don't do that. So there you go. Farfar coming out Casino Square and then coming down to Mirabeau now. Lovely stuff then. As we've got Ayrton saying, hello Sean, the best commentator on YouTube. Some people do disagree with that, I gotta say. So I get too excited apparently. But there you go. What can you do? Can't please everyone, can you? Portier as well as Farfair coming into the tunnel as well. Lovely stuff. We got Young Lights. Sean, you okay? You don't sound the best. Well, I gotta say I am feeling a bit rough. But I am going to soldier on anyway as we're just coming out of the seafront chicane as well. We got Ayrton saying, got Gordo saying, Ayrton just talking facts there, and then then he had me as a teammate. So it's I think that was have you two been teammates before? I don't know. I'm in the gold mood tonight, and I struggle to remember how old I am or what my name is, let alone anything else. Favre comes over the line, he goes 9th fast moment. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Exiles also started just finished this up, I should say, and he is in the 11th position there, very close to his teammate Sam, and Sam there just underlining as Tichy has again damaged the wing. Then AlphaTauri might have to get a whole host of them, won't they? Of course, we have. I think everyone will be through into qualify now, apart from Nigel, of course, who has got a qualifying ban there for being a naughty boy in Spain. We just taking a look then. Shout out to Alhan for not moving out the way. I think Milan's not happy about that, is he? Of course, it is qualifying. No, it's very difficult to get out of anyone's way in qualifying, isn't it? It's very difficult to swing a cat around here, let alone an F1 car. Alhan has retired from the session as well. We've got Dan saying expect Milan this Monaco. You know it's going to happen there. Dan, me and Dan are on the same wavelength there, isn't it? Great minds think alike. But I'm not. I think you might take that as an insult, really, if I ever compared my mind to yours, my good man. So coming out of anti-nodes then as look at that then, look at that back end trying to step out there from Emerson. Oh goodness me, that's very much snaking around, isn't it, as he's a second off there. Emerson is, and this is a good opportunity for Emerson now to really get his championship back on track, isn't it? He is in 5th position at the moment now, but he hasn't had a race win yet, which is absolutely shocking, isn't it, from a man of this his talents. And also he's had so much pace there. Remember in pre-season testing there, he was really ripping up the test times, wasn't he? He was absolutely fantastic. But so far in this season, it's not really gone well for him, has it? Dodgy internet and all that kind of stuff. But also he's been very unlucky with dodgy internet, and he's also had a couple of other incidents here and there in the Renault then. So yeah, probably Renault's not his favourite car at the moment, is it? As you can see then, so yeah, Milan there not happy about Alhan not moving out of the way. As Nunes asked, any pink helmets for Anton Hubert? Yes, there's a load of pink helmets. I think every car we've been on board with, apart from Favre, has had a pink helmet in tribute. So good stuff indeed there, and brilliant stuff then. As Gordo has just said, R.I.P. both McLarens. Yeah, unfortunately, both McLarens are out of this qualifying session already. There had a very difficult time, haven't they, the McLaren team in ALR so far. One slight touch of the barrier and the wheel falls off there from Jonathan. Eric saying, good luck, Nigel. Nigel, I think that it might be a blessing in disguise for Nigel to be qualifying near the back because perhaps he can stay out of trouble, because it is a very difficult place to stay out of trouble, isn't it? As now it's dropping down the hill, coming into Portier as well. I gotta say, Portier looks so much better on the game than it does in real life, because there's a big old board up there now, isn't there? Or there was last season, anyway. I can't say I've been to Monaco recently, or at all, really. Well, I can't even unless if you count Wales as a different country. I have been out of the country, but yeah, Wales is as far as I've gone. There's Troy coming out of the Sea French cane as well. There's in the background, there's a Haas there, hop, skipping and jumping in the background, as well as to back there, Troy flying through to back there into the chicane there, the swimming pool there. It's absolutely brilliant stuff, isn't it? Now into Raskas, and Mr. Elite has retired from the session as well. But to every retirements we've had recently, they've all been in the pits, and as long as you're in the pits there and you've got your car in one piece, you can carry on. Troy has improved himself up into 10th position. Lovely stuff indeed then. Sam is invalidated this time, so Titch is going to have another bite of the cherry then, with less than a second to go. Okay, that's it, the time is up then. The checker flag has fallen here in qualifying, and unfortunately we have lost both McLarens and we have lost Nigel as well. So I think that is our 15th, 16th and 17th in the in Monaco sorted out, and I think we've also got Total P's will be starting 18th as he is coming in later on. And I'm just having a look down there as Jonathan is saying that I can't get this season going at the moment there, as yeah, he's having a very difficult season at the moment, Jonathan. He's only got 1 point so far, which is absolutely extraordinary, isn't it? WCR wrote there saying, yes, young lights there, and there's a bit of chatter going on as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Yeah, so there's a lot of there's a Becky Jones there. It's just had a bit of drama going on in the old comments as well, as the blocking saga continues, doesn't it? Which I've got to say, it's a very difficult in this qualifying session, the most difficult one of the season, isn't it? But it's going to get less and less there, because we have lost 3 drivers in that qualifying session. Only 14 cars are on track for qualifying 2 then, and then it will be down to 10 for qualifying 3 as well then. And so Itchy does get a time in the end. There's a 12-1 there for Itchy. His teammate of Eat the Cookie is right up in second position. Remember, Cookie has absolutely been ripping the roots out, hasn't he, of ALR so far. Really, he's I think there's only ever been one race where he hasn't won the race, has he? And which was in back in Holland, and that was a cracking race between himself and Young Lights. Really enjoyed that. Will go down in ALR history as one of the best ever. Matt has just, of course, built a Matt, aka Matt Sneed, has just said, hello, Sean. Good evening, Matt. Hope you're having a lovely time. Of course, that was live on Facebook, isn't it? So you can watch us on Facebook, you can watch us on YouTube, and those are the only places you can watch us, unless someone is illegally streaming this, and if you are, then I'm ashamed. As we got Exile there coming through Portier as well then, as the end of qualifying then, and we're just watching him come into the pits as well then. So Exile through into qualifying 2, very nicely done indeed then, as you can see, hopping over the curbs there. As just having a quick old look down there as well, as we just someone has just asked Zach Sullivan, is it too late to join the session? Well, I don't think it's never too late, but I gotta say then, you will be starting near the back if you are going to join the session. Jonathan is waiting for his pay slip there, and we've also got Dan there saying it's always a compliment to have the same mind as you, Ginge. Oh gosh, not with my IQ of 69 then. As Becca Jones just asked, are the driver's going to get paid soon? There's so many views, haha! I gotta say, yeah, I'm getting very nervous. Goodness me, we got a lot of viewers on Facebook. We got several viewers on YouTube. Goodness gracious me, it's great stuff indeed, isn't it? And I'm just saying a quick look down the chat as well. Then we got Matt Robinson saying, "Let's go, Cookie, Twitchy, and KV." Yep, I hope they all do a very good job indeed then as well. As I think Becca is just replying to my comment saying that Wales is a stunning country. Indeed it is, then. So I'm just waiting for this end of qualifying session to happen then, because at the moment then Exile is just out there all on his lonesome, and he's just enjoyed himself out there, isn't he? And he's coming out of the tunnel as well then. Of course, the tunnel is very famous, isn't it? Unfortunately, they have lost the long camera shot of the tunnel now, haven't they? Because they've been doing some development just coming out of the tunnel, which is such a shame. I remember that long camera shot, and you see the waves crashing against the wall pole. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Of course, one of the shots that do come to mind is when Damon Hill broke down coming out of the tunnel in the Williams Renault back in '96 there. And that was such a shame that Damon Hill never won the Monaco Grand Prix, did he? But Graham Hill, his father, won it 5 times, I think, didn't he? I think the all-time record is still Ayrton Senna, though, winning it 6 times at Monaco. Probably should have been 7 if he didn't push too hard to try and really ram Alan Prost's nose in it, because he was absolutely incredible in '88, wasn't he? Out of qualifying, and his fire shot, no time, he crashed at the seafront chicane. Nigel is 16th, and of course we have Jonathan, who also crashed at the seafront chicane there. I think he's done a I think he did a Mika Hakkinen, didn't he? Or was that a Hakkinen or Coulthard? I don't know. Someone spun around there, didn't they, in '97 as well? But yep, those are the drivers out of qualifying, and we're going into qualifying too in just a minute as well then. And this is going to be good. It's going to be really good stuff indeed then. As we're getting into qualifying too, and taking a look at the pole position so far this season, we've had 3 pole sitters, haven't we? Emerson has been on pole position in Australia. He was the fastest. Well, he was on pole position this time last season, wasn't he? With a cracking lap. But as we said though, that was kind of more. He kind of fell into that role, didn't he? After Fisher's problems in qualifying and getting a 5-place grid penalty. But eat the cookie there, who's been on pole position 3 times, hasn't he, this season? And Milan's been on pole position twice as well in China and Netherlands. Then those are the 3 pole sitters we've had so far. Wondering if I wonder if that's going to break the tie. And as Alhan has joined, and he is back in the session now. I didn't even notice that he left. I apologise, Alhan. And they're just waffling away there, and I do love a good waffle as well. As out of the pits there comes Milan now, and look how difficult this pit lane is. As you can see, look at that, and you cannot go over that yellow line, otherwise you will get slapped on the wrist there, and possibly even a penalty as well for dangerous driving there. Of course, it stops drivers from cutting across other drivers as soon as they come out of the pits there, don't they? So and I think they introduced the white line quite a number of years ago now, didn't they? And I think it's a sensible decision, really, isn't it? Because you used to see drivers just coming out and trying to get on the race line as quickly as possible. Here comes Grant then, as he's just going for the Lowe's hairpin as well. Milan in the background as well. As we mentioned already, Milan has had 2 pole positions this season. Remember, this is his debut season, Milan is. And I've got to say, ever since watching him in the Constructors' Cup in the pre-season, between season 3 and 4, he made his debut in that, didn't he, for ALR? That was the first time we've seen him, and he was absolutely fantastic, wasn't he? Milan was so really impressive from then on in. So he's been absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. And Milan has said Netherlands is the best country. Changed my mind then. Ayrton Senna, I'm going to put Ayrton Senna's name to shame on Tuesday then. Ayrton not feeling too confident around this circuit by the sounds of it. As Granted are coming over the start-finish straight. It was anything but a straight, isn't it, in Monaco? As he comes into Sandevot then. Lovely stuff there from Grant there. Inch perfect then as he climbs up the hill then. And you can see it's such a steep hill. The camera doesn't do it justice, does it? And now we're dropping down into Casino Square here. Martin Brundle had a big shunt there, didn't he, in '96? Well, it wasn't a big shunt, really. I think he just smashed his wheel, didn't he? His back wheel, and just spun himself out. And that infamous '96 race was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? So now Granty comes into the Lowe's hairpin then. The slowest corner on the F1 circuit there, climbing over the curb. Granty, it's maybe a bit too much curb for his liking. Out of Poirier as well then, into the tunnel. And of course they fly through here, don't they? See, it's again another bit of a light turn there, isn't it, in right-hander. And now then, and I don't know what I said there, to be honest, into the Steve French chicane as well then, before accelerating away then, and coming to the back. I love this part of the circuit. Listen. Incredible, isn't it? Dropping down into 5th gear there before flying through the first part of the swimming pool. Second part of the swimming pool there, a bit slower there. They've opened it up, haven't they? Back in 2003, it was a lot tighter there, wasn't it? They've also opened up this part here for Raskas. Now into Anti-Noakes then. Don't climb on the curve too much there, because you can get stuck up there and really cause some momentum issues. Grant goes across the line. He is at fastest at the moment then. Good stuff indeed then. Milan there goes faster. He's on the soft tires, Milan is. And sometimes it may not be about what the maybe in this race it's all about the being on the not on the right strategy, but possibly being in the best track position, isn't it? Yellow flags is one of the Alfa Romeos there, just slowing down there. Here comes Troy coming out of Portier as well then. Lovely stuff indeed there from Troy. Good old drift there. Mr. Elite there comes across the line. He goes third fastest in the Renault, and lovely stuff indeed there from Mr. Elite. And car 22 then. Troy are on board with Troy then. So he's now regained himself through the seafront chicane as well, and he is on the soft tires. Farfus left the session in disgust then. I'm not sure why. I think he might be unhappy about the weather out there. There was a lot of talk about rain in this race, wasn't there? In the build-up, Jonathan was saying that if it rains, it's going to be chaos, and also had a lot of whispers about the rain in the Discord. But so I was a bit concerned actually that they knew something that I didn't. If they've been looking at the weather forecast, perhaps I'm not sure. Here comes Troy. Then he's not looking at the weather forecast at the moment. All he's thinking about is getting a time on the board, and he's done a 10.8 there. Lovely stuff indeed there for Troy, and he is in third fastest at the moment. Then you have to be in the top 10 to qualify for the top 10 shootout, because otherwise you would be out, wouldn't you? Yellow flag and into tobacco is one of the Haas drivers. Alhan is out on track at the moment, as is Emerson then, and I'm just on board now with Alhan as he's clumping the chicanes then as well and accelerating away. And as Gordo is saying that he's been to Austria and it's beautiful. Yeah, it does look beautiful, doesn't it, in Austria as well? Of course, when Formula 1 is in Austria, it looks absolutely picturesque, doesn't it? It looks like something off a beautiful oil painting, doesn't it? So we're just watching Alhan, and he's now coming out of Raskas as well. I think it's called Raskas because there's a club there, isn't it? Hunter, of course, a former race driver of ALR and the first ever race winner of ALR, by the way, back in Australia season 1. Alhan starts the lap. He has just said no drop fast and no Pearson. As Becca Jones also confirmed that it does look stunning, to be honest. Austria does lovely stuff indeed there. We've also got Jonathan confirming that it's a dry race then, so a lot of conspiracy theories about a wet race. Well, that has been put to bed, hasn't it, quite early on then? And it's Alhan straight lining coming down into Mirabel there, isn't it? Interesting stuff. I think that's the only person I've seen there who's do that. Look at that, 25 miles an hour I've seen on the counter there, down the speedometer. Is it a speedometer? I don't know, possibly. Speedometer or a Speedo? No, wait, Speedo's pants, isn't it? Yeah, it's a speedometer. Yellow flag there, actually, coming out of Raskas. Alhan then back on board with the Mercedes driver then. And look at this then, braking down. Such a heavy braking zone, isn't it, here? And accelerating away then. Of course, this is the lowest average speed a lap time you do on any calendar, on any race in the F1 calendar of Season 4 of ALR. And you can see why, can't you, of course, just have... Oh, that's a bit of Alfa Romeo wing, I think it's off the... which has probably come off the wing now of one of them. I think I'm just having a look to see who the Alfa Romeo is out there. Well, I think it might have been Milan because he's come back in the pits now. So just watching Alhan, who goes up into second position. Lovely stuff indeed there for Alhan. Emerson's abandoned his lap and come back in the pits then. We're just taking a quick look. That was Lost Souls then. He didn't look lost at all, did he? He knows where he's going. We've also got Titch out there as well, and Young Lights there. Lovely electrifying helmet there. Beautiful stuff indeed there from Young Lights. And look at that, flicking over the swimming pool section as well. Lovely stuff. It's, oh goodness me, also kissing the Armco barrier. Max Verstappen did more than that, didn't he, in 2016? I think he also did in 18 as well, didn't he? Max Verstappen has been in that barrier a few times, as has the likes of Heinz Harald Frentzen and co. Lights has gone second fastest once again, shown he has got some speed, hasn't he? He is looking phenomenal this season. I'm really loving the fact that Young Lights has got his act together this season. He's been brilliant, hasn't he? Oh my goodness me, and that is more than a kiss there. Tichy is give it a good old French smackaroo, hasn't he, on the barrier, and unfortunately Tichy's going to have to come back in the pits there. No, he is staying out there. He just wants to get a time on the board there, but goodness me, Itchy has had a lot of wings so far. Good job he's driving the AlphaTauri, because apparently Red Bull give you wings. We got to Los Souls there, who's now come across the line. He's done a 28.5. Very lovely stuff indeed then. And he's now accelerating away and coming up the hill down. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And it's just what a camera racer just said. Hi all, have a good race there. And of course, yes, Becca, Austria is beautiful indeed then. Lovely stuff indeed then. So we're back on board then with Lost Souls now. He's 4 seconds up in the first sector. Of course, this Monaco track is split up into 3 sectors, as is every part of F1's races. Of course, I think MotoGP is split up into 4, isn't it? Which is interesting, isn't it? Now there's a Lost Souls in the second sector as well then. Of course, the second sector ends just after to the back corner, isn't it? It's, I love this circuit. I'm really looking forward to this race tonight. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, isn't it? I know that a lot of drivers are probably really fearing the worst here. This race is going to really shake up the championship, I feel then, as Tabak is now Lost Souls coming into the back then. He's 9 seconds up in the second intermediate split time into the final sector as well. I've got to say, these guys are inch perfect, and it's absolutely superhuman. What they do around here is incredible, isn't it? And Lost Souls then out of anti-nose as well. DRS right on the money then. Of course, you get a beep in your ear. Lost Souls didn't need that. He knows where the line is. He is third fastest at the moment then, and he's done 2 laps there on the medium tyres. And why is that important, you ask? As we're on board with Cookie, as This man's been incredible, hasn't it? There's a Ferrari just getting on the way then. It's, I think it was Troy. It was Troy who's on a lap at the moment. Farf, I don't think he's come back in the session yet, has he? Goodness me. We've got Jess Wing, who I think is new to the Oda comments there, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed then. Yeah, welcome Jess. I hope you're having a lovely day. And yes, she's just said, hey guys, hello. I might be assuming there. It might be a guy then, so I apologise. But hello, we don't discriminate here in ALR. You're welcome, whatever gender you are, however old you are, and all that kind of jazz. Lovely stuff indeed then. Eat the cookie there, coming out of Mirabel then into Anti-Noakes as well. Lovely stuff indeed. As Farfa said, Ginger, you have jinxed me. My friends list is not loading. Oh, Jess Wing has always been here. I apologise, Jess. Oh gosh, I've really put my foot in it, haven't I? Maybe I should stop talking. Well, I could, but then it'd be very quiet, wouldn't it? And all you hear is the beautiful sound of these V6 turbocharged engines, won't you? Of course, they're hybrid as well. I do miss the Oda naturally aspirated engines, of course, with the V10s and even the V8s as well. I thought were lovely. Emerson there is gone 5th fastest on the medium tyres as well. Then, of course, if you get into qualifying free, yes, you must start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on. And at the moment, then we've got a lot of soft tyres out there, and we've got we've got a lot of medium tyres out there and one soft tyre as well. Back on board then, and again we're looking backwards and to the Ferrari there, and that's beautiful stuff indeed there. Goodness me, we've hit 100 comments already. Good gosh there. Gotta say, you guys are very chatty tonight here on the Sunday. I hope you've all enjoyed your Sunday tonight. I hope you all had a lovely roast dinner. I did. I had a bit of pork. A bit of pork chops actually. It was absolutely delightful. So I think Jess has forgiven me. Thank goodness for that. Good. I think I got away with that one. Oh gosh. Troy there coming out of the second part of the swimming pool as well. He's doing a lot of harvesting on this lap, Troy is. I don't think this is going to be setting the world alight there. Sam is also invalidated his time as well. But we go back to Troy. No, he ain't. He's coming in the pits. And so we'll go to Sam then, who's about to start his lap. So remember, he is a Monaco expert, isn't he? This is where he really shines in Monaco. He has struggled on this circuit, he said, on this game so far. But I'm wondering if Sam might just be lowering us in a full sense of security, perhaps then. So Farf is getting sweary in the Oda comments there as well. He is struggling to get back into the session there, as his friends list is not loading there. And I can't repeat what he said, but let's just say it was a bit of profanity. And I got my profanity buzzer on me. 5/10 a second up, or just under 5/10 a second up, I should be more accurate. It's Sam in the first sector as well then. I love that shot. Look at that. That's incredible, isn't it? Beautiful stuff indeed then. Look at all those swimming pools and apartments there. It's really it's a really beautiful place to live, isn't it? I wonder why all these F1 drivers live here. Lovely stuff indeed there. If I ever become an F1 driver, which I won't because I can't fit in the car, I can't drive, and basically that's it really. I can't fit in the car, I can't drive. Young lights retire from the session, and also I'm also scared of flying in heights. So that's also, and I don't think I'll be able to be shipped around the world. Well, I suppose I can put in the cargo area, and just put me where the elephants are. Anyway, it's Sam there coming out of Mirabel as well. Alhan has left the session there. We've got a lot of levers here, haven't we, tonight? Goodness me. Farf is back in the session there, but he's only got 3 minutes to get himself comfort. Oh my goodness me. Wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? Goodness me, that was closer than Wallace and Gromit. Incredible stuff there, but Sam is through in the qualifying free as it stands at the moment. If the session finished now, Sam would be through. Exile in the second half there. Look at that there. I gotta say, that was incredible. He's gone purple in sector 2, and he's been a bit too straight there on the straight line in the was it the swimming pool there? Goodness me. And we have just taken a look there is Jonathan has sent far from him for beautiful stuff indeed there. As Jess Wing is also saying, shame we can't visit at the moment. It is really, isn't it? Of course, with all the stuff going on in the world there. But I got to say, I have no idea what's going on with this this dreaded virus. I try and keep up with the news, but I get more confused than what I do when I see salad. I'm not sure if to plant it or throw it away. Alhan there is just joined back in the session as well. Lovely stuff then for Alhan, and of course he's in qualifying 2 he's in qualifying 3 at the moment. Mr. Elite is not in qualifying 3 at the moment then, so he needs to, as Alhan has left the session again then, so I'm not sure if he's coming or going at the moment. Oh goodness me. And Mr. Elite is a second. Oh, he's I'm not, is that a bollard? I'm not sure what it was. I thought it might have been a bit of front wing now. The brake discs are glowing now on Mr. Elite then, and he is also glowing on the track as well. And he comes out of Anthony Notes. Let's see what he can do. And it is a 6th position now, just behind his teammate now. Mr. Elite is really showing some signs of good form here tonight. Troy is back out on the circuit as well at the moment. He's 11th fastest. We've got XR, who is also having another bite of the cherry as well. He's done this a second lap on the medium tires. He's also kissed the barrier, and he had to straight line the second part. That's going to lose him a bit of time there. And coming out of Mirabel as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Oh, and almost turning too sharply there. Here comes car 91. Where is he going to be put on the grid? Only 13th fastest there for Exxon, but that felt a scrappy lap there for Exxon. Troy there is 700 second up there. The second intermediate split time, and unbeknownst to me, Granty is actually out of this session. And he is, I've got to say, he's looking very perilous, isn't he? He's on the cusp at the moment now. And with Troy going faster, this is going to be very difficult for the champion, isn't it? And I've got to say, he's had a difficult start to the league this season, hasn't he? I think this is the most difficult start in his ALR career. But let's see what he can do there, because he's last season was absolutely impeccable. He's in the wall, Troy is! And he has turned in too sharply. He has damaged the wing. He's damaged both wings there. And that might give Granty a reprieve at this stage there. Twitchy is also second off at the moment there, but he has time for one more run then. XR is also cruising back to the pits as well then. Oh, but Twitch has got damage to the wing again there. Twitch is having a very difficult time in car 14 then. And I think this might help Granty. Granty, I've got to say, I'm going to be asking him for the lorry numbers there, because he's very much Mystic Meg. Oh, that's a wing completely gone there for Twitchy. And oh, goodness gracious me then. And that is not good at all. We've got yellow flags fluttering all the way around the circuit at the moment. And we here in Monaco. Goodness gracious me. It has been a very tough session so far, hasn't it? Emerson has gone fastest there, and he has gone on the soft tires, Emerson has then. So he'll be starting the race on the on those soft tires then, because I don't think anyone's going to beat that time. Hats off there to KV, actually. He's up in the 5th. Brilliant stuff there from KV on his debut there. He is looking very strong, isn't he? And also hats off to Sam as well, who's also made it through in the qualifying free. And I can be confident saying that now, because everyone else is finished in qualifying. Troy is out of qualifying, and he was looking very quick. He was 2/10 of a second up in the middle sector, wasn't he? And that would have actually displaced Granty. That would have knocked Granty out of qualifying. And that would have been a real shot to the system, wouldn't it? Twitchy out qualifying as well. He's gone through a lot of wings so far in this qualifying session, but let's hope he has a cleaner race as well. Alhan is retired from the session as well. We're on board with Sam, who is just coming into the pits then, and just on board Twitch then, who is currently who's unfortunately out of qualifying. Exol also out in Farf, who didn't get a time unfortunately, which means he is out of qualifying as well, unfortunately for Farf, as he had some issues loading up his friends list. Maybe his friends list is too long, because he is a popular man, is the ER Paul. So just watching Twitch there, coming around the going around the circuit at the moment, and a good stuff there from Emerson there. He's done a 0.92 there, hasn't he, in qualifying. Emerson has brilliant time indeed there, and he's really been fantastic so far, hasn't he? Emerson has, well, he's really turned up the wick now. In terms of qualifying last season, I think it was raining qualifying last season actually, because it's at 124, wasn't it? So we really can't really compare the times, isn't it? But the season before it was 767 there, which was set by Knowlesy, wasn't it? So we're already underneath that time. Incredible stuff, isn't it? In season 1 it was a 108 732 lane. So we got to get to that benchmark then. Well, we're a bit off it at the moment now. I'm not sure if that will be an out and out lap record here tonight, which is also set by Jochen as well. This was Jochen's last ever race win in ALR there. Of course, the man who was who really got the whole record, hasn't he, of 5 race wins in a row. Lovely. Hunter said, Sean, if you can't race, you can become a commentator. Well, I'll give it a go. let's see what happens on that one. We've got Farf saying Ledge. Thanks, Ledge. I hope he ain't on a ledge. Maybe that's how he races. Oh, legend, I get you. We've got Becca saying, I'm getting nightmares about that third sector. If I get through quali with my front wing, I'll be surprised then. And I've got to say, it's going to be very difficult indeed then. Grant, he didn't want to get into qualifying free, as that's what he did, retire from the session quite early. So yeah, Grant, he didn't want to be in qualifying free, which is I find quite surprising, really, isn't it? Because it's all about track position around here. Track position is king, isn't it, here in Monaco? So interesting stuff from Granty, and we've also as you can see, as Hunter is saying, all you got to do is trust the car. Qualifying free for the first time in Qualifying through for the first time for Sam then. Yeah, well done to Sam. It was a fantastic. Really stood out there and shone in qualifying too. Also, KV has done a cracking job as well. As we've just seen that Twitchy there disappear out of our screens as he is climbing up the hill as well. This is the last time we're going to be seeing Twitchy in qualifying. But don't worry, Twitchy fans, don't get twitchy. He'll be back for the race. Let's just take a quick reminder about what that session was then. Here's a summary. Farf unfortunately couldn't load up his friends so he is out of qualifying. XR out of qualifying as well. That quickest time was on the medium tires though for XR, so he could have gone a lot quicker. And perhaps he didn't want the soft tires at all. Twitchy in 12th position and Troy in 11th position as well on his gold debut. So that's not a bad shout. That's not a bad time at all for Troy. Lovely stuff indeed. Then we're going into qualifying 3 in just a jiffy then. Sam making it through to qualify 3 for the first time in the season. Hats off to Sam. That was a brilliant time indeed then, and I'm sure he's going to be over the moon with that. And why shouldn't he be? Because that was a brilliant time indeed there. Right, and we're now building up for qualifying 3 then. If you love speed, this is where you need to be. It is going to be cracking, isn't it? Who is going to be on pole position then for the Monaco Grand Prix, the most important qualifying session of the season? It's hit his climax, and who is going to be the one that'll be on pole position? Who's going to be standing tall? If you get pole position here, that's half the job done, but you got 39 laps to survive around this nightmare of a street circuit. And I'm saying nightmare because it's absolutely it is absolute nightmare. Becca has just asked, what does the constructor standings look like in gold then? Well, at the moment then, Red Bull are on top. They're on 21 points at the moment there, with Williams in second position then. AlphaTauri is in 3rd position with Racing Point in 4th on 70 points then. Renault then are down into 5th. Ferrari have dropped down into 6th. Mercedes is 7th. Haas 8th. Alpha 9th. The Alfa Romeo team 9th, that is. And McLaren in 10th position. That is the constructor standings moment. And unfortunately, McLaren are having another nightmare race weekend, didn't they? As they are both out qualifying. They're both in 17th and 15th position there. Jonathan and Farshot is, and remember Farshot was on a cracking race, cracking season, wasn't he? Up until I think it was China, wasn't it really? And just on board then with Sam now. He's on the soft tires. Of course, you want to be on the quickest tire for this qualifying 3, isn't it? This is about pace now, isn't it? It's about where you want to be. You want to be as high up the grid as possible, don't you? As Sam getting out of the way of Granty then. So Granty is now the new leader. We ain't going to see any of this nonsense about like queuing up at the final sector. They're not getting a slipstream. The slipstream means absolutely no difference in this qualifying session there. Granty getting very close to the barriers, isn't it? I've got to say, that is bravery, isn't it? I'm loving this. As I can say, not bad for Haas then. Thank you. No worries at all. So Grant said, coming through Mirabeau as well. You see, there's that lovely club there. I'd love to go there one day. Of course, I'm a clubber myself. I listen to a bit of Clubland and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, then, so I think I watched Kevin and Perry Go Large the other day. I I've forgotten how much of a great film it was. A gem of the early 2000s there. Yellow flag in 3 then, as they are queuing up into sector 3 there, but I don't think they're queuing up to avoid the slipstream, are they? Because slipstream makes absolutely no difference here, does it? Grant's there coming out of Casino Square on board then with the double world champion of ALR, and of course 17 podiums last season, didn't he? That is the main crux of why he was world champion, wasn't it? Those podiums that he racked up, that means that he was not on pole, he was not on the podium only 4 times last season. That is incredible, isn't it, from Grant? Very impressive stuff indeed then. Dan has said the world is going to end with Sammy in Q3. Oh gosh, don't say that. 2020 has been a difficult year anyway. I've dreaded every month for September next week, isn't it? Or what? Yeah, it's next week. Yeah, it's September next week, isn't it? I've got to say, what were you going to expect from September? I don't think I could take any more horrors of this lovely straight line in there from Granty. Beautiful stuff indeed there. Hopping over the chicane. Lovely stuff indeed then. As Becca's just said, imagine the scenes if Sam gets pole. He's in the pits at the moment, Sam is. Granty coming out of Anti Nodes, and let's see what he can do. He's the first man to put a time on the board, and it is a 10-1 at the moment there for Granty, and he hasn't had the out-and-out pace so far in this event, has he? Emerson has, and Emerson has gone on pole. He has done an 0-9-1 there. Lovely stuff indeed then. What about his teammate Mr. Elite then? Mr. Elite is third fast among there, but he is showing some impressive stuff indeed. The Lights has left the session. KV on his debut in the Alfa Romeo is up into third. No then, because it's now Cookie who's in an 8. Incredible stuff there from me beat the cookie, and he is on pole position by 0.2 of a second. Lost Souls there is coming to back as well, as unfortunately Lights is retired. He needs to get back in the session as quick as possible because he's out of the session at the moment there. I was going to say retired, he hasn't retired, he's just left the session so he can get back in his car. Yes, he's back in the car, back in the session. Now can he set a time then at the moment? And he has been quick with Emerson and Cookie, and KV has sprung a surprise as well, being up in third position. Lovely stuff there indeed then. Alhan is moved himself over to third. I was a bit too slow on Alhan's front there, but he wasn't slow at all, was he? He's also in the 9.5 as well. Alhan right up there, and I think that'll be his best qualifying performance of his career so far. Lovely stuff indeed then. And as you can see then, and there's a lot of bad to go on about Sam, I love it. And of course I got to also read out this comment as well because it's a nice thing about me. Ayrton said, but it's also one of the best years because I met you, Sean. Yes, indeed it is. And I got to say it has been a very good year actually for ALR as well, because we have introduced 2 leagues, haven't we, with silver and bronze, and I think that extending it out has been absolutely incredible, hasn't it? Really brilliant stuff indeed. Sam has gone 18-3 in the first intermediate split time. Lovely stuff indeed as he comes into the lows hairpin. Yeah, and we've and I think the recruitment has been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it, with some of the drivers, of course, from silver and bronze has been brilliant. And of course you can't forget gold either. There's some cracking guys in this ALR league, and it's been an absolute privilege and pleasure. I've got to get my teeth back here. It's absolute a privilege and a pleasure to be commentating over you guys. Really is indeed. Sean is getting all the attention. Oh, I feel so loved today for some reason. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with you guys at the moment. And then you guys, oh, Sam there had to correct the car, and because of that, he has unfortunately had to abandon that time because he's also invalidated this time as well. Lights is still in the pits, and Sam is also going to be joining him in the pits as well. As Alhan has left the session, we've got to make sure that these session issues don't continue into the race then, because this is not good at all, is it? As Milan there is on an out lap at the moment in the Alfa Romeo. He's had 2 pole positions this season. Can he get a third then of his career? He's a very good one-lap specialist, isn't he? Alhan is. Milan is. I apologise. I got Alhan on the brain because he's out of the session at the moment. He comes over the starting grid hatches, and let's go then. As of course Becca just said, we've given Sam 100% the curse. We really have, haven't we? And he is now back in the pits there. He's really not going to be happy about us at all, is he? And look at that as he comes over the crest of the hill. Lovely stuff indeed then. And now coming out of Casino Square, look at Milan there. He's giving it all kinds of welly, isn't he, before dropping down the hill. He's done an 18.3. That's in the ballpark of where Sam was. He was about 100 for a second in front of Sam there, into the lows hairpin as well then. And accelerating out, of course, this is a 68-second lap, isn't it? It's very quick, isn't it? Maybe not as quick as what Bahrain is going to be. Of course, the outer track layout was apparently going to be like 50 odd seconds, isn't it? That's going to be incredible. I think the lap record for the all-time lap record of a circuit is wasn't it Niki Lauda, like a 59-second lap? And I can't remember if it was in Germany or somewhere like that. Oh no, I think it was Austria, wasn't it? Possibly. Anyway, then enough about that. Then, because you guys do not want to hear about that. You want to hear about Milan's lap, and at the moment it's looking a cracking lap, isn't it? And I saw the pits as well. So is Sam as well. They got 5 minutes, and I wonder if anyone's going to go for free runs here. I don't look like it is then. As Milan there comes out of the final quarter, and where is this going to put him? He puts him in third position there. Lovely stuff there for Alhan, as he's got a problem with his DRS that keeps opening and shutting. Goodness me, it looked like a disco down there. KV is out then. He might be going for free runs, so he's out quite early. He's a 10th of a second up there. He's locking up the inside front there. Goodness me, there he's right on the edge and beyond there. Lovely stuff indeed then. And coming out of the lows hairpin as well, then you see now dropping down the hill into Portier there, so you can see the LED screens is flashing green. That means it's all clear for KV. And I got to say, I'm loving this by KV. He's doing a cracking job so far in his debut here in ALR. He's doing an absolutely splendid job, isn't he? Bursting into the sunshine there, coming down there into the seafront chicane, locking up the inside front again. And I thought he was going to go into the barrier there, but KV there, game of inches this is, and he is definitely playing with fire and winning, or playing with the wall and winning there. A 10th of a second up there, as the car's gone straight off in front of him, wasn't it? I'm sure it's in the car. I think it might have been of Williams there, and locking up the inside front again. Those tires going to be like 50 pence pieces there. A bit of Colin McRae kind of drifting there. Lovely stuff from KV. He comes over the line. Where is that going to pull him? That's a committed lap. He is 5th fastest, and it lowers the bar there for the likes of Souls and Granty and co there to really get himself back on there. And I've got to say, that's a cracking first intermediate split time there from Mr. Lee. He was 2/10 of a second up. Lovely stuff indeed there. Back on board with Lights, and as I got to say, I love that helmet from Lights, and it's beautiful, isn't it? Out of the out the seafront chicane as well, then before hitting it into Tobacco as well. Brilliant stuff, and back on board with Lights Out. I love this on-board action, and just showing the skill of these drivers is absolutely amazing, isn't it? And look at how much attention to detail you have to have around here. It's incredible. Oh, I thought he was going to go straight on there, Anthony Oaks. Then I thought he was actually just going back to maybe an apartment where he lives. And Young Lights has gone across the line there, and I gotta say, I thought I was a 50 then, but I'm just waiting for his time to come up then, and his time's all over the show, so we'll leave him to it for the minute. Here comes Mr. Elite. He comes across the line, and Mr. Elite there is into a 10-3 at the moment now. Alhan has left the session again. This is not good for Alhan. He needs to get himself back in there. Souls there is about 6 seconds off the pace at the moment. He's had a problem somewhere, hasn't he? Cookie is now emerged out of the pits as well. He's the only man into the 8 so far, isn't he? Cookie is looking very strong indeed then, as now we've got less than 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. The countdown is on there before the race itself, and so of course that's where the prizes are given out, isn't it? This is just about qualifying and lining up the grid, but what a way to line up the grid, isn't it, around here in Monaco then. As Becca has just noted about Young Light's Wi-Fi there, because it looks like he did a 50, didn't he? That was like a 50-second lap, which I've got to say will be a lap record around here. Los Souls then is now going for broke then. It's all or nothing now for Los Souls then. Here we go then, going into Sandoval. He's invalidated already, Los Souls has. That is a big blow indeed there. Lights' time finally comes up. It is a 090 then. He is second on the grid at the moment. My goodness me, that is speeding through the pit lane. And that is absolutely disgusting there from Young Lights. I think he needs to get fined for that. Goodness me, as he's quick on track, he's also quick in the pit lane as well. Oh goodness gracious me. Eat the Cookie there is it looks like he's invalidated his time now. I thought he was on an out lap actually, unless he's got around that lap pretty quickly. I was adjusting my hairpiece there, I apologise. And so at the moment we've got a lot of people on out laps. We've got Granty on an out lap. We've also got Sam, who's now going to start his lap now. He hasn't got set a time yet, Sam hasn't. He's got time for 2 runs, and I wonder if he's fueled up the car slightly longer just to... Oh, he's invalidated it straight away there. The same thing that happened to Lost Souls is now happened to Sammy as well. And oh dear, that is not good at all, is it, for Sam? So he's going to have to dust his overalls off and go again. KV has emerged out of the pit lane as well. Eat the Cookie has started his lap now. Oh, he's also touched the Armco. He's damaged the car. He has damaged the car, and that end plate that's going to be a lot of understeer for Cookie. Let's go on board with him now. Then there's a car in front of us. Remember, there was a lot of unhappiness about the blocking earlier on in qualifying when KV gets out of the way very nicely indeed. Then as he come into Mirabeau, a yellow flag in at 1 there, and that was of course for the Alfa Romeo driver getting out there. As Young Lights there, he's a bit annoyed about his Wi-Fi at the moment there, as he was looking very good indeed. He is still looking good. He's on the front row at the moment, Lights is, but yeah, hopefully he can get something sorted there before the race as well. And what is Cookie doing then is he's damaged the car, and that is it then. So Cookie's lap then might be the pole position lap from earlier on then. So let's see what he can do. He's a second down then on this time as well, so that's unfortunate for Cookie. Emerson started his lap then. Milan's invalidated his time. Alhan is in the garage because he keeps losing connectivity. Hopefully Alhan can get that sorted. Granty is 6-10 to a second up there into the final sector as well. Sam has started his lap as well. KV there is just in front of Granty. Then is that going to hold him up slightly? He's gone on a bit of dirty air. Dirty air is not prominent around here though. Cookie is retired from the session there. And where does Granty go? Goes in the 5th fastest. Granty does good time in the end there. Milan has come back into the pits. He is done. He is out of qualifying. Emerson is a 10th for a second up. That is not in the range though of Eat the Cookie so far. Cookie is looking strong at this stage then. Lost Souls is invalidated his time. Well, no, it looks like he's abandoned his lap there. So it's only Emerson now. Can he get on his second pole position of the season? And we're on board with Emerson. He is 2700 second up in the second intermediate split time as well. He is coming into the final part of the lap as well. Out of Raskas now coming into Anti-Notes and accelerated away. Oh, that looked a bit scrappy for Emerson. Worst thing is it going to be pole position. I'm holding on to my hat. It is 3rd position in the end there. And Emerson there very much on the money. Look how close him and Lights was. Incredible stuff. Granty is going to be 5th in the end then. What about KV? He's looking good at the moment. Whoop. Oh, Sam's invalidated this time. I know that is a shame now for Sam, isn't it? And he is going to be starting 10th on the grid. What a shame there for Sam. And that's disappointing, isn't it? Sam Hade and also KV's invalidated as well somewhere as well. So that is our grid then for the Monaco Grand Prix. Cookie is on pole position once again then, and I got to say he was feeling, well, he wasn't feeling too happy about this circuit earlier, was he? But goodness me, he's going to be feeling a lot happier now. That's his 4th pole position of his season. I think it's his 6th pole position of his career, if I'm not very much mistaken. Absolutely incredible stuff Cookie is, isn't he? He's really ripped up the form book, hasn't he? Cookie's been absolutely stellar so far. And I don't even know why I wear this hairband, because somehow or another the hair just keeps flopping down on my face. Unreal. So we're just watching Emerson now then, as he is just coming back into, no, I think he's just on an in lap at the moment now, just enjoying the Monaco Grand Prix circuit, isn't he? So at the end of that qualifying session, then Cookie is on pole position then for the 4th time this season, for the 6th time in his career. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. Lights alongside him on row 1. I wonder what Lights could have done there if he didn't have such a affected qualifying session in terms of issues there with his connection. He could have got pole position again there, Lights said. But look how close it is. 92 hundredths of a second. Very much in the ballpark, wasn't it? And 98 hundredths of a second between Cookie and Emerson as well. This is going to be a cracking race. I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be cracking. As I've said, cracking too many times, haven't I? 4th position is Milan in the end, then 3 tenths of a second away. Granty in 5th position. Alhan in 6th. He could have been higher as well if he didn't have so many issues with the connection as well. KV in 7th position. Lost Souls is in 8th. Mr. Elite is 9th, and Sam into qualifying 3 in the top 10, but unfortunately didn't set a time in qualifying 3. Otherwise, he could have been higher up as well then. So that's a bit of a disappointment there for Sam. As countdown's on then, you can see we are now getting ready for the race itself. I'm getting ready for the race then. I'm adjusting my hairpiece. We are about to get going then for the Monaco Grand Prix. And of course, the Monaco Grand Prix, it used to be said it was worth half a championship, wasn't it? By the legends. Then, of course, if that's the case, then Emerson, I think, would be half a champion. Though, so I think he won here last year, didn't he? He dominated. Of course, the year before it was Nigel who won the race, wasn't it? After Emerson and Gnolsey came together at the seafront chicane, and the season before that, it was of course Jochen who won the race. And it was a great drive actually from, I think it was it Venstra? No, a great drive from Vesey actually. He was near the back of the field and he came through to finish in a brilliant second that season as well then, and that's one of the most impressive drives you'll see in Monaco. Fantastic stuff indeed then, as we're now getting ready for the race itself then. So get ready guys, this is going to be fantastic. Jonathan is getting ready to go swimming in the swimming pool section then. Well, I hope you do, Jonathan, but I hope you do that because you're winning then. And the timer is ticking down as well. God, I don't think Total P's joined, did they? So we ain't gonna have no racing points in this race, which is a big blow, isn't it? As the time is now ticking down then. Right then, as the guys just choosing their strategy, there's a lot of guys that are still pondering about what's going on there, isn't it? Good, incredible stuff. You can see the pit lane is empty there. There's no cars on the pit lane. The pit lane was renovated, wasn't it, back in 2003 or 4, wasn't it? And of course they used to have a very narrow pit lane, didn't they? Now the pit lane's on the other side there, which makes it a lot easier for the drivers and personnel, doesn't it? Right then, we are now going through the grid there from front to back, from pole position to 17th on the grid as well. As Lights there has just taken off there, hasn't it? So Cookie, for the 4th time of his career, is 4th time of the season, is on pole position there. He's fantastic, isn't he? Cookie is. Maybe can he extend his lead there even further in the driver standards. Lights, who is third in the championship, is 2nd on the grid today. Emerson, who is 3rd in the on the grid there, he is 5th in the championship as well. He's had a difficult start there. Milan is in 6th position. No, yeah, he's in 4th position, I should say. Sorry, I got distracted by Lights. We got Milan in 4th position. 5th position is Granty. 6th position is Alhan, who is also having a couple of issues as well. Jonathan has been disqualified from the session there. It's having a bit of a problem there down the hairpin there, isn't it? Goodness me. KV in 7th position as well. Exos also been disqualified as well. There's a lot of disqualifications going on out there. KV on his debut in 7th, fantastic. Lost Souls is in 8th position there in the 2nd. Williams. 9th is Mr. Lee, also in the 2nd. Renault as well. Renault on a fantastic time out there. Much better than last season anyway. Sam in 10th position is season best. Brilliant stuff from Sam. He's good around here, isn't he? Troy in 11th position there. Tichy is in 12th position. And then we have 13th position for Exile, 14th for Farf, 15th for Jonathan, 16th for Nigel, and Fireshot in 17th position then. Hard tires for Jonathan, soft tires for Sam and Mr. Elite. And also for Emerson and Milan. Watch those guys fly off the grid then. Those are your grid spots for the Monaco Grand Prix as it is now starting to build up. We are going going to get racing in the Principality in just a jiffy. That fire shot is coming over the line then as well. I think, I'm not sure if Lights and Alhan are in the session or not then, but we're on board with Lights, who's again very quick at the moment then. And you can see we got an empty grid spot, unfortunately then. Actually, it wasn't empty grid slot at all, was it? And now Lights is just lining up then, so we are now ready to get going. And these are we're waiting for those lights. There they are then. As we will, of course, those are the fake lights then, because I'm now starting to learn my lesson here. As Lights and Alhan have got away splendidly well then. But now those we're waiting for the lights, and when they go off, will we go in Monaco? And we are racing, and it's a good start for Cookie then. And he keeps his lead there with Milan in second there. He's challenging for it, but of course they're all got to be neat and tidy into the first qualifying session. Farf is in the pits. Farf is in the pits, and I don't think he's starting. We've got yellow flags as we got issues. KV has had some issues, major issues as well in the Alfa Romeo. What a shame then, as we got Alhan in. We got a safety car already in this race then, and it's a bit of a mess so far. Farf is not even in this race. Incredible stuff. Jonathan is saying he's got nothing left to lose, and KV unfortunately has got something to lose as he has lost his front wing now, and he's going to have to come in the pits. So Farf is out of this race. What a shame there. We've been robbed then. So it was Farf's pit box that was, and we got severe collision now down the lows hairpin as well for Tichy as well as a severe collision on Exile. That's not good at all then. KV, what a shame then on his debut, but luckily he has a safety car, so hopefully that shouldn't cause him too many difficulties and can drive it to the back of the field then. So big winners there at the moment. Well, I got ignore that for the moment because Alhan and Lights are not first and second at the moment. I don't even think they're even in the race at the moment. As Becca Jones is asking what everyone else is asking, what the heck is going on? I have no idea, to be honest. Farfis had a problem there, and we've also got Alhan and Lights there who are just steaming away at the moment. There you can see lovely. I don't really see the pit boards too often, do we? But there we go then. So we got we're just waiting for the who's going to come in the pits. I'm surprised the safety car's out because I didn't see any major issues there. We do have Troy in the pits. We have Titch in the pits as well. Nigel is staying out. Jonathan is also in the pits there. We've got both McLarens in the pits, and so this is going to hurt Jonathan. But luckily there is a safety car, and so Troy has just come on the pits now as well. KV is just coming in the pits there, waiting for his Alfa Romeo mechanics. There they are. Then they're changing the nose cone on Alfa Romeo, and he's got a new nose cone on. He's going to the hard tires as well then. Fireshot is going on to the soft tires then, so he's going for more of an aggressive strategy as well then. And just watching Jonathan there in car number 19 there. Of course, he's usually 25, but tonight it is for Anton Hubert. As Jonathan out of the pits on medium tires then. And now just rejoin the back of the rejoin the front of the queue at the moment now. Alhan is saying, yeah, I'm not around. Absolute shame now. So Alhan is not in the race then. I don't think Lights is either by the looks. As yeah, Lights is not in either. Oh, what a shame now. So we've lost two major contenders in this race there before the lights have even gone out. What an absolute horror show at the moment now. We've also got Alhan who's dropping right down the order. What a shame now for Alhan. And Sam has been given a 5-second penalty for severe collision then, and it is it's a very difficult race so far, isn't it? For a lot of drivers out there. Goodness me, it's absolute shenanigans out there. Goodness gracious me. So Cookie then is in this race at the moment then, with Milan in second, Emerson in third. Unfortunately, we have to ignore Lights, which is what's happening in the background? I don't even want to know. I dread to look. So I think Lights is just dropping down the order as well. It's so unfortunate, isn't it, about having who's in the pits there? I think it's Exo in the pits. He is in the pits there for the Haas, and I think that the both Haas drivers came to blows, didn't they? Goodness me then. And it's been a very difficult start. He's also got a 5-second penalty as well to add to his woes then. Now the Haas team get to work. They're changing those tyres there, and he's also changing the front wing as well then, and he'll be out in just a jiffy then. Yeah. So we have lost 3 drivers already in this session then. We have lost Farf. We have lost Farf, we have lost Lights, and we've also lost Alhan as well. And it's a shame, really, isn't it? Because Farf, a former race winner, he would have definitely been very much in the mix in a crazy race with his experience, isn't he? One of the most experienced drivers in ALR. Alhan, who's had a fantastic start to the season, hasn't he? He's really been shining this season. He's been absolutely mega. And same with Lights as well. Lights has been absolutely incredible. He's a different driver this season, isn't he? He's loving 2020. Unfortunately, he's not loving the Monaco Grand Prix because he's not in it, which is such a huge shame there. So those are the 3 drivers. out of this race then already. It's not due to incidents, it's due to connection issues as well. And goodness me, I had to put my sunglasses on there because it's so bright there as they come out of the tunnel. And I was talking about that new renovation, wasn't I, earlier on there, which has ruined one of the classic camera shots of Monaco, where there's a camera like you shot in the harbour, isn't it? And you see the cars that zoom out of the tunnel there. And Lights saying he would have got a podium, he thinks so as well. I think that Lights did have a very good... I think Lights had so much pace there. I reckon he would have been challenging Cookie for the win perhaps there, with Milan and Emerson up there. And Granti in fourth position and navigating his way through the tricky turn one then of lap one of turn one of Monaco. Right then, when's Cookie going to drop the hammer then? So they're back in reasonable order. Apart from Lights is still in ninth position now, Han 11th. We're back racing here in Monaco. And so we have got Cookie leads and Milan is second. Emerson in third position. And of course he won this race last time out. Then we've got Granti in fourth, Lost Souls in fifth position. But look at this, as a Mr. Elite is all over the back of Lost Souls going into Sanderford. Then of course you need to be very quick and also have compliance from the car in front as well. But that was definitely Lost Souls is one man who doesn't comply with a lot of things, is it? As goodness gracious me then. There's a Bailey Smith saying supporting Emerson, let's go. Emerson currently in third position on soft tyres there. It's as Nigel's moved himself into eighth position. Lovely stuff indeed there. Fireshot is also in the points as well after having a horrific qualifying session. Just to update you then, we are down to 14 runners then because we have lost Farf. He is stuck in the pit. I think he might have lost his keys. We have also lost Alhan and also Lights as well, but that is due to connections issues, so that is a shame for both those drivers. I'm absolutely devastated by that. And now is Mr. Elite's flying start there is now as he's starting to drop back into the hands or the clutches there of Sam in the background. Sam showing and cracking that stuff indeed there in the Haas as well. Is that Troy has got by Fireshot. He has got by Fireshot then. Is that Troy is now in the 10th position there in the Ferrari, making his debut tonight. Troy is there in one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar, on board with Fireshot then of course in 10th position. He had a strong start to the season. He's on a bit of a nightmare recently, isn't he? Let's see if he can just dust himself down and get going again and eat the cookies at the fast up the race there. He's also got already up to 1.2 seconds on the supposed slow tyre. Milan is second at the moment. He's looking like a Sam is in the pits there as Milan is looking like he's a bit of a stopper at the moment, isn't he, for him? And he's also having to serve the 5-second penalty. Alhan is no, sorry, not Alhan, Sam is, of course. He's going to go on the hard tyres. They're also changing the wing as well for the Haas driver, but Sam could potentially get some points on the board here tonight. Same with Jonathan as well, who have really struggled in the opening stage as well, as Milan's gone wide. Milan has gone wide, and then Emerson's going to go on the outside there. Oh goodness me, it's getting very nip and tuck, but Emerson is through, swoops on the outside of Alhan into Portier. As he damaged the car, Alhan, he's really slow at this stage, and look at how much time they've lost. They've lost 3 seconds there to eat the cookie there, to come into the sunshine now. And Milan hasn't damaged the car there, but he came a cropper, didn't he, in the hairpin as well. Goodness gracious me then, but accelerating away as Granty just looking out there from underneath the rear wing. Milan back on board there with the world champion then at the moment. Then he is in the second part of the seafront chicane then. No, yeah, in the swimming pool I should say. As, oh goodness me, now Troy is under a lot of pressure there from Fireshot. Fireshot has gone for an attack. His strategy, goodness me, and Fireshot is never one that's it's never one to be shy of an overtaken opportunity. He's trying to go to the inside of Troy. Troy is having none of it there. Troy of course making his debut here tonight in gold, and Fireshot of course a very experienced driver. He's been in it since season 2 there. He's also deploying the overtake. He is through and up into 8th position there, Fireshot, and he's on his way. His next target is Nigel, the season 1 world champion then. So Troy might actually be coming back at him. I'm looking forward, and Fireshot might be as well. But Troy is not. Troy's also looking forward as well. Lights is back in the session then, and let's see what Lights can do from here. Then it's good stuff. I'm hoping that Alhan can get back in as well. Lights has dropped down into 40th position, and it's never over till it's over now. And there's Lights saying Cookie's got a lucky win. Troy has got a 3-second penalty there from multiple wardens there. On board there with Jonathan is he is all over the back of KV at the moment. KV, who also had a difficult start to this race as well, is down in 10th position there, but he's still on course some points. Milan's got a 3-second penalty as well, and look in the foreground as well. Troy is really strong for pace at the moment there, isn't he, in the Ferrari. Has a big old lock up there for KV as well. This track is so unique, isn't it? And you can't really judge people, especially guys making their debut on Monaco, can you? Because I think I finished quite high up in Monaco race one time, and I'm not fast by any stretch of the imagination. I was just because everyone else retired. And let's see what we can do as well. So we're back up to 16 cars in this race then. Sam on the hard tires then. Can he navigate himself into the points then? So we've got Lights there also in action as well. I wonder if he's took control of his car. We'll find out in just a few moments then. We've also got Gio saying, sorry I'm late boys then, but it's great to have you along for the ride then, Gio. And this has been a cracking ride so far. It's been absolutely fraught stuff, hasn't it? And they're climbing up the hill down as we're on lap 7 out of 39 then. We got a very long way to go in this race. Back on board with Jonathan Cox there, the man with the most pole positions in ALR history. A big old locker there from KV in ALR history. He has 9 pole positions there. Oh, he's gone up the inside, and oh goodness me, there's all Constantino effect there into the Lowe's hairpin. It's so slow around there. There's Tichy in the background there, and he's on the hard tires as well. So majority of the field is pitted, and the only people that aren't pitted is the top 7 then. Everyone else from far shot down has pitted so far on the left hand side tower, and they're coming into the seafront chicane again. Look, there's also a queue of cars in front of us as well. And I think it's a Fireshot who is behind there. It's Mr. Elite then, who is the cork in this bottle as well. Here's Fireshot. He's very aggressive at times there, and I'm wondering, let's see what he can do from here on in. As Granty and it's into the pits because Milan is in the pits very early then. Let's see what tires he's going to go on then. And Alfa Romeo guys have been very active so far, haven't they? He has changed the tyres on the hard tyres then, so Milan is struggling then, and it's all about track position around here, isn't it? Now, but he's going to be out in the, I think he's going to be out in traffic, isn't he? As Lights is still not in the car yet, but it looks, or he's just ghosting. I'm hoping that Lights can get back in the car relatively quickly. It doesn't look like he's in the car yet though, because he's not driving like as quickly as he should be, is he? So that's a shame at the moment there. Cookie there has now got a 5-second lead then over Emerson in 2nd position. Mr. Elite is in 5th position. Nigel is in 6th. And look at this queue now. This queue is kind of developed there. It was two separate groups of 3 cars. Now all of a sudden we got 6 cars there. As Troy there is still a second back at the moment. We're back on board there with Nigel. And Nigel is looking very, very competitive in this race once again then. It's accelerating out there. Of course, Nigel, the only man in ALR history to win a race in every single season of ALR. Fantastic start then. I gotta say, this season he's been struggling in, but of course he won this race in season 2, didn't he? That was his only race in season 2, incredibly. So for Nigel, but let's. Oh goodness me, that was McLaren there having a sniff at the inside of Nigel's diffuser. But you're not going to get past there, are you? And now then into the only DRS overtaking opportunity as well. Then as now then we come over the grid heights as well. Then Mr. Elite then is just moving under braking then, but that's okay then, as long as you're not constantly weaving. And it's now they're coming up the hill as well. Look, oh my goodness, Fireshot there. Oh my goodness me there, as he was trying to get out from underneath the rear wing of Nigel, but at the moment that was no dice. 6 seconds gap is now then, and I wonder if the soft tires have gone off, or if Cookie is just really it's just absolutely fantastic. Well, either way, and look at this then, and of course it's a traditional Monaco train, isn't it? Remember 2012 where we had Weber, Massa, Vettel, Weber, Massa, Vettel, Hamilton was in there as well. It was an incredible train, wasn't it? And look at this then, and the Mercedes is on the outside then. Oh, it's Mr. Elite there chopping off the wave through there, and they're coming down into the seafront chicane once again. And this is incredible stuff indeed there. And this is the whole reason behind the Monaco, isn't it? It's just so difficult to overtake, isn't it? As we've got a yellow flag in 2. It's one of the Alfa Romeos, it's Exile, who's gone off the track then, as he's just returned to track now then. So he just had a bit of a spinneroonie there in the seafront chicane. Look at this and look at these cars, and it's 9 seconds now, isn't it? Between we've still got a yellow flag in sector 2 for some reason for the spin on Exile. Look at these cars there, they are very much Lionel Stern, and Nigel there is pushing on though, isn't he? He's going to go on the outside as the Lights is after session, and Fireshot there. Oh goodness me, there was a damage there. I don't think there's enough. Ferrari now going side by side with the McLaren as well, going up the hill. Impressive stuff indeed then, as goodness me, I can't believe there's no damage there. Impressive stuff here in the Monaco Grand Prix. Learn how to go up and under there in the casino square. Not quite then, as Troy there is and 10.8 seconds of gap is now between Elite and Lost Souls. Williams are looking very strong at this stage of proceedings, and that's of McLaren of Jonathan there having a look on the inside as well. Jonathan has only had one Jonathan has only had 1 point so far this season, hasn't he? And so he's hoping to really bounce back strong, bounce back in this race. Of course, that 1 point was scored in Bahrain. So hopefully, oh my goodness me, far shot, they're just sneaking through and up into a fantastic six. Oh my goodness me, there's cars, there's carnage, in the seafront chicane, and Kavey's got a 3-second penalty as that far shot has moved himself into 6th position. Goodness me, then it is it's getting very much nip and tuck then. And now Titch is also joined the battle as well. Is now starting to slow each other down at Nate. Of course, if anyone watched the 2001 Monaco Grand Prix, now into the pits comes Mr. Elite. Then he's had enough of that game, hasn't he? So he's coming in the pits and he's changing those tyres. Troy also in the pits as well, so he did get damaged in that exchange then. And I think Fireshot is just going to launch away now, isn't he? Because he's got so much pace in that McLaren, as he didn't show it, unfortunately, in the race as well. Did Nigel hit the wall there? He might have had a glance and blow, but he's okay. Mr. Elite coming on the pits as well then, and so is Troy then. So they've gone for the opposite strategy to what each other had, didn't they? So Troy now on the soft tyres. On the hard tyres is Mr. Elite then. Now Sam going to go for the undercut here. Indeed he is. He's got past Troy. Is he going to get past Mr. Elite as well? Sam is very close indeed there, but Mr. Elite there having to come out of the pits very quickly, wasn't he? Otherwise he would have been behind Sam there. And I'm wondering if Sam might be going to the end there on these hard tyres. It's a big ask, isn't it? But it's all about track position. Track position is king around here. That is going to be the sentence of the day here in Monaco. Now going back to the leader as well. And lovely stuff. There's a predictive pit stop there. Emerson is now 9 seconds away then, but look at this. Emerson's really strong for pace, and he's in the pits there, and so I think those soft tyres might have had his day there. So Emerson in the pits there from 2nd position there. He's going on to the medium tyres. Emerson is then. Interesting stuff there from the Renault driver then. I wonder if that's a guaranteed to stop then. And look at how much distance there is between 4th and 5th. Is he going to get out in front of Fireshot? I don't think he is. Yes, no, he isn't. Emerson, this is a big blow for Emerson, because look at this, and look all the traffic he's come out in. I bet his heart is sinking. And Jonathan there is also nipped through as well. Emerson will have the inside then, but look at that then. Jonathan has gone through and have a trade position then. 7th, I should say then. So that is a big blow there for Emerson, isn't it? As he is now stuck in traffic then. The undercut that he might have been gambling on, albeit it's a 10-second deficit. And that's really going to hurt him, isn't it? Exile is back in the pits, so he's on the hard tyres then. Exile is then in the Haas then. So we're down to 14 cars, and retirement so far is unfortunately Lights, Alhan and Far for all out of this race then, as they all had issues with starting the session, and that's such a shame, isn't it? On board Souls at the moment, who's in 3rd position. Good stuff for Souls. This will be Souls' strongest performance so far, isn't it? Remember, Spain, who's doing really well in as well. Of course, he's had a podium already, Souls has this season, back in the Dutch Grand Prix, and again he's in 3rd position at the moment as well. But keeping tabs there on his championship teammate there. Milan has just got past Twitchy and moved up into Twitchy, getting very twitchy there through the swimming pool. We've had a couple of big crashes over the years. Montoya comes to mind, and so does Heikki Kovalainen as well. Goodness me, Twitchy there is really hacksawing away that wheel, isn't he? Troy is now on the soft tyres there, and very and it's got to say is very quick, isn't it, at the moment? Now, of course, he's on two-step softer tyres than the hard tyre of Sam at the moment, who's in 12th position then. Troy going on the outside of Raskas, nothing doing there. Mr. Elite there is now stretched his legs there. He's almost 2 seconds in front of Sam now. Mr. Elite has got some pace as well. Emerson is currently very close to the back of Jonathan, but he's not close. He's through. He's past Jonathan and moves up into 7th position. Brilliant stuff there from the Renault driver. Jonathan dropping down to 8th position then. Incredible stuff there. Fireshot is now 14 seconds away then, but he is dropping Nigel now. So now Emerson is up to 7th position. A great overtaking maneuver there from Emerson, albeit we've seen it quite late on in the day, didn't we? Now coming down to the seafront chicane once again. Kavey just locking up the inside front there, isn't he? Foot accelerating away. Fireshot just in a glimpse on those 11 up out soft tyres. Those soft tyres that we felt on the front runners of Emerson and of Milan there. The soft tyres didn't really last too long, did they? And look at Emerson. He's got so much more pace at this stage, hasn't he? We're hoping that they come in the pits. Unfortunately, the guys who's come up behind, KV and Nigel, they're on medium tyres, so they were going quite along in this race. Jonathan is coming to the pits, and we've got a yellow flag there as one of the Haas drivers there is had a problem there, and it looks like he is stopping as well then, and that is a shame. And we've got a virtual safety car as just taking a look to see what's going on with XR then. Then XR is Sam. I apologise. It's Sam then who's had a problem there in the Haas, and he is and he's coming back to the pits there. He's wingless there in the Haas there in car 19, and Jonathan is also just coming out of the pits now then, and He didn't get all of that, did he? But he got a bit of advantage in the pit. So Mr. Elite has just come out in front of him as well, but he's in front of Troy. Jonathan is, and Sam is back in the pits as well. We're down to 14 cars, as I mentioned earlier, and the virtual safety car is out at the moment. I'm wondering if the Cookie's going to take this moment to pit. Indeed, he does. Then, and so the car, I think it was in Monaco. Was it a couple of years ago? Markelov came in the pits, didn't he? He was like 15 seconds behind. He gained 15 seconds in the pit stop, and now we're back racing. Grant, he has stayed out then, and Eat the Cookie has had a longish stop there, hasn't he? And but he's coming out of the pits now. So Williams 1-2 then in this race. Then Cookie coming out in third position now. Then so Williams leading 1-2, fantastic stuff. Then Granty and Souls 1.5 seconds apart. Then Nigel is also gone up a couple positions as well. Farshot has done 12 laps on those soft tires. He is now in the pits and he's gone on medium tires then. And Emerson there is really giving KV and Nigel a run for their money as well. Then as they build themselves up the hill as well. Look at this, and incredible stuff as they're weaving this way and that way. Of course, there no one's going to KV and Nigel are not going to let Emerson pass, or what? He's not going to be like, after you, sir. They're all racing their own race. He's on looking Mirabo, but nothing doing there at the moment. And a big lock up there from KV as XR is in 13th position at the moment as well. As Sam is down in 16th position at the moment. They're losing the whole of the wing. We're not sure what happened to Sam, but him and Troy was very close together, weren't they? So I might be putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 22 instead of 4. As KV there just still in front of Everson at the moment as they come down the hill. We're not even a half distance here in Monaco, and we've already had drama after drama in this race. It's been incredible. Look in the background, that's Milan. He is also now starting to home in on the Emerson as well. The traffic is really hurting Emerson. In terms of the deficit between himself and Eat the Cookie, I think Eat the Cookie must have had some damage somewhere, because he had a very long pit stop. Or did he have a 5-second penalty? I think he had damage, didn't he? And that is the deficit between himself and Emerson is now actually down to 6 seconds, albeit Emerson probably would have got by actually if he wasn't stuck in traffic. No disrespect to the traffic, because everyone is in their own race, aren't they? So as I said a lap ago, though, you're not going to just let someone go by, are you? So at the moment then is Nigel is currently 6 seconds behind Eat the Cookie at the moment. Then Emerson's trying to go on the outside. KV is blocking him off nicely as well. Of course, KV making his debut. He's gone a bit squirrely, and Emerson's up the inside in Mirabo. Oh, he's made contact with Nigel, but he is through nonetheless. A great manoeuvre there from Emerson, albeit a bit unorthodox there to use Nigel as a bit of a stopping tool there. But he's up in the 5th position. Great overtake there from Emerson. Now sometimes you need to be unorthodox, and that was very good. That was a very good overtake there from Emerson, really well done. Albeit I don't think Nigel appreciated that bump up the rear. But that is Emerson's next target. It is Nigel then. He's got some pace on the Emerson has, and he's look at how much he's trying to get out of the rear wing there. As into the pits comes Granty, and he's in 2nd position moment. He's going to get out in front of Emerson here. This is going to be interesting stuff indeed there for the Williams driver. Remember, he has been out in fresh air, hasn't he? As Eat the Cookie there is also crossing the line as well, and he is going on to the hard tires till the end of the race. Granty is there. They're also changing the nose cone on the Williams there, so Granty's had an issue somewhere, and he is going to be behind Emerson. He's going to be dropping an awful long way down the field. Nigel is defending the inside, so Emerson's going to go on the outside. Fantastic manoeuvre there. Emerson is through. He's up in the 3rd position. That's amazing overtake there. Oh wow, brilliant stuff there for Emerson. Yes, he does have younger tires. Farshot has set the fastest up for the race at this moment in time indeed. Oh, well, that was a great manoeuvre there from Emerson on the outside. Absolutely stupendous overtaking. And look at this, and this is going to get very, very hot indeed then, isn't it? Oh my goodness me, that was brilliant. I think we're going up to half distance as well if my math doesn't let me down, which it has done in the past, and it probably will in the future as well. Jonathan is still 4 tenths away from Mr. Elite. Then they're both on similar strategies, and I believe they're both going to the end of the race, aren't they? It may not be the fastest way to win to get to the end of the race there, but as we said before, it's all about track position, isn't it? Emerson there is now on the case then of Eat the Cookies, 9 seconds away. Then let's see how much pace Emerson has got in clear air there, because we haven't seen Emerson in clear air so far in this race yet, have we? Oh, and who was that? Cookie? No, not Cookie. Sorry, KV is in the wall. He's damaged the end plate. And the Alfa Romeo driver, he is on 15 lap out, and you can see him letting his teammate, they were very gentlemanly there from Cookie. And there's me saying that they're not going to let each other through. Well, how wrong am I? And KV is in the pits then as well. What a shame there for KV. And Lost Souls at the moment is leading the race. I think this is the first time he's led a race in gold. So fantastic stuff from Lost Souls. And he is currently leading the race then. He does have to pit still. But I'm wondering then if he's going to stretch out this time. Maybe go on the soft tires here. And then there's a lot of pit windows opening up here for Lost Souls. He can go on the hard tires and have some free 4-lap younger tires and eat the cookie. Or he might even go on the soft tires then. But we'll find out as well then as he's coming through the traffic there. That is Alhan, who he's just got by, and you see in the background we find there is the AlphaTauri in the background of Eat the Cookie. Then Emerson is dropping. It's dropping back as much as he was behind Eat the Cookie, but he's just matching Eat the Cookie at the moment. Then Nigel is in fourth position at the moment, and he hasn't pitted either. He's on the similar strategy to Lost Souls at the moment. They've been on these tires since the get-go in this race, and so I've got to say then they're going an awful long way, and that's damage. That's damage to back. Has proven awful for the Alfa Romeo drivers, as now that's both of them then who've gone towards the back, and Tichy has also been overtaken by Fireshot. Fireshot is very much on a mission at the moment then. Is Milan is staying out at the moment, but he has damaged the end plate, and this is a nightmare for Alhan, isn't it? He's just going to be dropping further and further back now, and I wonder if it was the understeer there from Nigel's 30 that really cost him there. It looked like it, didn't it? To back there does really sneak up on you as well, doesn't it? So you can get wider and wider in there, and then the end and do exactly what Milan done. And the same with KV as well. KV's come out the pits in 12th position there, and he is behind Troy. Troy is actually just coming in the pits as well, so KV will have some free air again then. So let's see what KV can do from there. And this is a long race there, isn't it? We've still got 20 laps to go with this Monaco Grand Prix. As I said, this is the lowest average speed circuit on the calendar, isn't it? And it's a very difficult race to complete, isn't it? So Troy's on the medium tires, and I think that'll get him to the end now, won't it? Well, we've done 18 laps there on Lost Souls and Nigel, so I think that they're probably going to be out there for a couple more laps at least then. So I think that Troy should be now staying out of the pits as long as he doesn't get any damage on that Ferrari. Talking of which, actually, Lost Souls is coming to the pits there for the Williams team then. So what tires are going to go on then? I think it has to be hard tires surely, because there's no way the soft tires are going to last for another 20 odd laps. Then he's in the pits, and it is the hard tires then for the Williams driver then, and he is coming out of the pits now. Then Emerson is now back up into second position then. Lovely stuff indeed then. Where is Lost Souls going to come out then? And Lost Souls is coming out of the pits there. He's in front of Nigel, and also Milan is coming to the pits then. So the damage on the wing there has really cost Milan dearly, hasn't it? What a shame then. This is an extra stop he didn't need, but he's going on the medium tires until the end of the race then. And Tichy is doing a good job actually. Tichy he's in at seventh position at the moment now. He doesn't have to pit again, Tichy don't. But of course those tyres are not going to get to the end now. Well, they're going to be very worn by the end of this race, aren't they? Nigel there is coming into Mirabeau as well. In the background there is Fireshot. Fireshot is so quick out there, isn't he? I got to say, I'm very nervous when this man's behind me. Definitely, goodness me, he is. I got to say he does love a good old lunge, doesn't he? But I think some of his moves have been very good today, actually, very good indeed. Of course, I think Emerson gets the overtake of the day so far, don't he? On the outside was absolutely phenomenal in Sandoval. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And Nigel there is now then becoming another bottleneck then. This time it's for Fireshot and Granted, but of course that's what happens in Monaco, isn't it? There's no, you do not leap out of the way, do you? You've got to run your own race, don't you? And Nigel, this is his best performance of the season thus far, isn't it? And Nigel's had a difficult start to season then, so he is not going to, he's not going to let any of these guys through, is he? And he does jump in the pits now then, which is good news for Granty and for Fireshot. Fireshot then is all over the back of Granty. Fireshot has done 5 laps on the medium tyres, whilst Granty is just put on the hard tyres about 4 laps ago. He had to change his nose cones, didn't he? Nose cone, I should say. Nigel is out of the pits now then, and he gets on the hard tyres to the end of the race as well then. And now we got Mr. Lee and Jonathan also coming over the grid hatches as well then. And they're in 7th and 8th position as well. KV is also going to get out in front of Nigel, and indeed it does say KV, and KV has come out in front of Nigel, and that is good news for KV, isn't it? As he was stuck behind Nigel on the opening stint. So Nigel's out in 10th position now, and he's going to get some points as long as he can keep it out of the walls, out of the barriers, and the Nigel could get some more points on the board then. And I think that's exactly what he needs, isn't it? And just back on board then with Jonathan, we've got 2 McLarens there attacking, 1 Williams and 1 Renault there, isn't it? So yeah, we've got Fireshot attacking the Granty, the world champion, and we've got Jonathan attacking Mr. Elite as well in the Renault then. Jonathan at the moment cannot get by Mr. Elite, can he at the moment? You've got to be bold around here, don't you? You see he's too far back in the C front chicane at the moment then. And you can see they're just jumping over the curves as well. You see in the background KV is gaining on these guys quite quickly, isn't it? It doesn't matter though if you've got if you've got really good pace around here, it can all be for nothing, can it? If you get stuck behind someone. And look at this, as KV is now right on the gearbox there of Jonathan Coxon as they come out of Mirbeau into Anthony Noakes and accelerating away once again. And so KV is now very much, he gained over a second on that one part of the course there. Incredible stuff. Milan is at the fast side of the race. He doesn't get the points at the moment, though, because he's not in the top 10. And who is that? Sorry, that's a Red Bull there. Red Bull are leading the Constructors' Championship, but as it stands, and they won't be leading anymore, because it'll be Williams, the defending Constructors Champions, who would overtake the lead Red Bull in the Constructors. So that is absolutely I think that'll be the first time the Red Bull led the Constructors, isn't it, this season? Possibly, but they've definitely led it for the last couple of races at the very least. Then KV, we're on board KV at the moment. On your behind. Jonathan used to drive the Alfa Romeo, didn't he? And now it's KV who's driving the Alfa Romeo. We're on board with it. He's climbing over those curbs, isn't he? And as just coming down there into the Seafront chicane then. As Energetics there just commented on Scared Short. I hate the walls of Monaco. I think a lot of these drivers hate the walls as well, don't they? As Exile has got by or has he? Well, Exile did get by, but now he's a ghost then, and Troy is back past, and Exile has dropped down into or has he? Oh goodness me, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the session tonight, isn't there? And now Mr. Lee, I've been watching. Nigel is now gaining. Nigel and Milan, they're fighting for the 10th and 11th position, but they are gaining on this trio of cars here. So we're going to have another 5-car battle, aren't we, here in Monaco? This is going to be very interesting indeed. Then Cookie is now 10 seconds in front as Exile's left the session there. He was lagging a bit, wasn't he? Yellow flag is what's happening. It's Exile who has had issues there at the Seafront chicane then, and I'm not sure what's. There's been awful connections here tonight. There, all difficult stuff indeed there for the drivers, especially around one of the most difficult race circuits in the world. And so Exile there is hopefully will come back in the session a bit, because otherwise we're down to 13 cars. We've had no very clean and cut so far, hasn't it? Nigel is actually starting to drop back from these guys, so I think he's starting to redefend on Milan, who's in the 11th position at the moment now. Milan was the very heights of the points, wasn't he, at the beginning of this race? Unfortunately, it's not gone too well at all, has it? And they're coming out of the Seafront chicane. There they are in the background as well, just flashing through the beautiful black Mercedes and the beautiful white and red Alfa Romeo as well. As they come over the Seafront chicane, over the swimming pool. That's it, the swimming pool. And look in the foreground there, that's Tichy, who is also being reeled in as well. Milan is out of the race then. Is it where is it? I think it's in it's a virtual safety car. Oh dear, and that's not good at all, is it? Just seeing where about it's at the edge of the swimming pool, isn't it? Let's just take a quick look then. And that is a big shame there for Milan, isn't it? As we were talking about. So I just saw saying then we haven't had no major incidents, and then right as I said that, unfortunately Milan is the first impact retiring. Yes, he's gone to the wall there, as we mentioned in qualifying earlier on in the show. Frenton's been in that barrier a few times, as has Max Verstappen as well. Troy is back into 11th and Milan then out of the race. What a shame then. Sam is only 2 positions away from the points now as well. Lovely stuff there from Sam. So is just on board then with Fireshot at the moment. He's in 5th position. He started 17th on the grid. Fireshot did. He is now up into 5th position there. He's having a cracking race, isn't he? And I've got to say, very similar then to the race that we had with Vesely in season 1 around here. Remember, he started near the back as well. Fireshot there just giving the wall a bit of a kiss there, luckily. It's Jonathan is skating off there, and Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty. I wonder if he was having a lunge there into the Seafront chicane, but that didn't pay off at all, did it? He's also got a 3-second penalty, and KV is now going to be very interested in him as well then. As you can see then, he is now matching Jonathan at wheel tracks at the moment then. Tichy is still 2 seconds in front of this battle at the moment, and look, a big old lock up there from KV as well. And we're on board the debutant as well, doing a cracking job out here. KV, he's doing a wonderful job, and Troy is as well. He's almost he's about 25 seconds away from the points at the moment, Troy is, but a lot can happen in this race still, as we're down to 12 cars here in the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on lap 25 out of 39, and it's been a very difficult session, hasn't it? Just in terms of difficulties with the with people's connections, really, hasn't it? I don't know what's going on then. It's a funny old Sunday here, isn't it, in Monaco? Which is standard stuff, isn't it? If you hear a lot of the history about Monaco in the past, isn't it? Where 82, I think it was, where no one wanted to win the Monaco Grand Prix, did they? They kept retiring from the lead with 3 laps to go. It's absolutely incredible, wasn't it? Peroni retired in the tunnel as he just ran out of fuel, didn't he? By the sounds of it, Jonathan weaving there from left to right, and of course we had I think we got Patrese with it eventually, didn't he? And there's Brabham, and big old lockup once again there from KV as he is really putting the Alfa Romeo through its paces. As Mr. Elite has gone on the inside there to back. What a move! What a move there! And Tichy is dropping down the order. Is there problems there? And Tichy has been passed left, right, and centre. And I'm not sure what's going on with Tichy there. He's done 23 laps on his tyres. Is that a puncture on Twitchy's car then? No, it isn't. So he's carrying on then. So Twitchy has just had a nightmare of a last couple of corners there. And now Mr. Elite is now up into 6th position. Jonathan is up into 7th then. And KV has moved up to 8th position there. But Twitchy driving from 6th to 9th on that period of the race as well then. And now back on board Jonathan. This is the closest battle on track at the moment, apart from his teammate Fireshot and Granty, who are battling for 4th position. And Granty calls out to change the nose code. Lost Souls then having a cracking race in 3rd position. This is going for a 2nd podium of his career in gold, and also a 2nd podium of the season as well, as Jonathan is getting very close there, isn't it? This is Jonathan's best race of the season as well, as it stands out. 3-second penalty for Granty. That might come back to bite the world champion, goodness me, as they come out of Portier as well, and are going into the tunnel. Then is Mr. Elite is still leading these trio of cars, as we also seen KV there flash through us as well. So as Tichy there is looking like he's dropped 2 seconds off the back of this battle, and now Nigel is looking very keen there he is in the background. There is Nigel, and he is now going to the end of this race as well. Nigel there is, look at this, and how much speed there he's got. Oh, and Nigel there almost going into the outside wall to back there, very lucky indeed, goodness me. And my hair's just had a bit of a turn, so Jonathan's gone wide there into Raskas, and Mr. Elite there is really it's really giving some issues, isn't it, for these cars. Mr. Elite has done 15 laps on those hard tyres. We're not expecting him to come in the pits. We're not expecting Jonathan to come in the pits either, and I don't think I'm expecting KV either. So all these guys are racing to the end then, so they just got to make sure they keep their head. They got to make sure they keep the car out of the barriers as well then, and say power up the hill then. And where have they gone? There they are there, say at the top of the hill then. And now we're going to drop down the hill then. This will come up to Mirabeau as well then. We've seen some cracking overtakes, haven't we, down here over the years. I'm not going to have one this time around though. Is Nigel there? Nigel might be lining up for a move there. Not quite. And Nigel, I've got to say, is a very measured driver, isn't he? Of course, he doesn't do anything unless he absolutely has to, doesn't he, in the Formula 1 car? And he is a very much a thinker's driver, isn't he? Albeit, I've got to say, we've seen him very much a fighter, much more of a fighter this season for Nigel, and I've been loving it, as he's now coming out of Portier as well. Back to this battle here then, and it's still status quo at the moment. Jonathan is still giving Mr. Elite some cause for concern there. And Tichy there is Ruben harvesting, I think, quite a lot for most of the lap there, because he was very much he took off out of Portier so good. But look at this, it's the back where he's struggling, isn't he? He's just struggling with the traction now. He's done 25 laps on those hard tyres, which is much more than anyone else has does on one of those hard tyres that really come to the end of their life. As he's in the wall there, did he damage the end plate? No, he's got an end plate damage on the other side though, hasn't he? Twitch has, and I think that's probably why he's really holding up Nigel at the moment there. He's got a lot of understeer, hasn't he? And we've got we had a position change there between Alhan and Lights, but ignore them, unfortunately. They are out of the race along with Exile as well, and so we're down to 12 cars in this Monaco Grand Prix there. I've got to say, it's been brutal, hasn't it? To say the least. Jonathan having another look on the inside. We've got a yellow flag there as one of the... Oh, that's Souls! Lost Souls is not a problem there in 3rd position. He hasn't damaged his wing, so he's okay. Souls is, but he just needs to keep. Oh, it's Nigel and Twitchy against. Oh my goodness me! He's gone on the inside. Milan is there for session. Nigel's gone into. No, Twitchy's gone into the wall, and he has damaged the end plate as well. Then, as oh goodness me, and that is both sides gone now, isn't it? And wow, Twitchy is going to have a lot of understeer. He's going to have to come to the pit. So Troy is in the pit window as well. So as Nigel got the pace then to catch up after these guys as well. So Lost Souls then, I'm not sure what happened in the Seafrench chicane then, but as he was recovering, and let's hope he didn't, let's hope he hasn't damaged those tyres too much. He's done 9 laps on those tyres. Emerson is now in 2nd position moment. Is Eat the Cookie is currently the man still leading this race and going for his 5th race win of the season. His 5th race win in round 7. Goodness me. And goodness me, he's having it all his own way so far in the ALR Gold, isn't he? It's absolutely domination. Incredible stuff, isn't it? Emerson in 2nd position. This is going to be his best result of the season, if I'm not very much mistaken. Indeed, it would there for Emerson. I think his best result so far was actually in Australia, where he did finish 2nd as well, and so it would be equally his best result of the season for Emerson. Very good stuff indeed there. And coming down to Mirabeau once again, and so Titch is coming to the pit. He's changing onto the soft tyres. Titch is going to be taking off like a scalded cat now, and he is now out of the pits then in the AlphaTauri. As Granty's out out of the race then. Oh my goodness me, Granty is out of the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh goodness me then. And fire shot in, we're very close to goal. Another virtual safety car. And oh goodness gracious me then, that is not good at all then. And he has gone, is he shot straight on there, or has he been forced into the barrier there? Well, oh goodness me, Granty is out of the Monaco Grand Prix. And the World Champion season is not been very fruitful so far. So what a shame there for Granty. And that's a huge blow for the Williams driver, isn't it? And oh dear, and you've got a virtual safety car. We're also waiting for that Williams to be cleared. Then we're down to 11 cars in this race now. Troy will be up in the 9th position. Sam is now in the points there for the Haas team, and that'll be Sam's first points of the season. And if he can keep going with just 10 laps to go in this race, then. And also good result at the moment there for Jonathan as well. This is going to very much improve Jonathan's point scoring position in the World Championship, isn't he? He's down in 17th at the moment now. Grant is saying, I was fine, could have reversed, but fire hit me and retired me out then. So yeah, so it looks like that fire shot and Grant did come to blows then, and that is a big blow, isn't it? And I wonder if has fire shot got any damage as well. Look at those, just saying look as well. And so unfortunately Granty is out of the race then, and fire shot has got no damage. And I've got to say these cars are very sturdy this season, isn't it? Goodness me. So Granty out of the race. What a shame now for Granty as well. He was having a good race in 4th position, and him and Fireshot have been training each other for most of this race, haven't they? Unfortunately, though, Fireshot doing a cracking job in 4th position, but unfortunately, Granty out of this race, and that's a big blow to Granty's championship credentials at this stage of the season. But we're only on round 7, everyone. We have got a long way to go. Then Granty's left the session as well. What a shame there for the world champion. Cookie at the moment is 11.6 seconds in front of Emerson, who is 2nd position. We've got a ghost in the Haas there. I think that's Exile. I think. Oh no, then I think it's Sam, isn't it? It might be Sam. No, then it is Exile. I'm so confused there. It's all going off here, isn't it? Either Cookie's got a 3-second penalty. I don't think that's going to spoil this day too much, is it? As they come up the hill as well. Look at them all. Look at these cars then. So close to Garrett. Troy is Nigel's had a problem somewhere, because he's now at 9 seconds away. Nigel is in 8th position now, so he's still getting some points then, but Nigel there is very far away, isn't he, from these guys? He was only about 2 seconds behind, so he's had a problem somewhere. Troy in 9th position, lovely stuff there for the debutant, and also for Sam as well in 10th position as well. This is always usually his strongest circuit on the calendar, and he has shown it once again. Well done, Sam then. Back with this battle here then. I've got to say, these guys have been you've got patience as saints, haven't they? They've been impressive so far this race, and really no wild lunges or nothing like that. And as they come into the French chicane as well, climbing over those curbs, that accelerates away then. And look at this, and it's a cracking battle as well. We haven't seen much of Jonathan this season, but goodness me, we're seeing a lot of him now, isn't he? This is his 51st race of ALR Gold, and he is very much a veteran in this league now, isn't he? And he's shown a lot of his experience on this stage of the race so far, isn't he? Mr. Elite is now 20 seconds back. Mr. Elite is also a veteran of the ALR league as well, isn't he? And I think this is Mr. Elite's 35th race, I believe, if I'm not very much mistaken. That was just a wild number. Sorry, it's 37th race. This is 38th race tonight, Mr. Elite is. And also shown that he has got he's racked up some wisdom and knowledge over the years, hasn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed then, as they're now dropping down the hill then. Cookie then is still 10 seconds away then. Lost from Emerson in 2nd. Lost Souls in 3rd position there. Fireshot in 4th, and a cracking drive from Fireshot. He could be I think he might be driver of the day here. Same with Jonathan Cox, so he's doing a cracking job as well. He started 15th on the grid. He is up and do 6th. Lovely stuff from both McLarens there. I was writing them off in qualifying there. I was writing off at my peril, and that really should have been something I shouldn't have been doing then. Coming back down to the French chicane once again, and Mr. Elite then is oh goodness me, Mr. Elite there has still got the advantage at the moment, hasn't he? He's 20 seconds behind Fireshot, who Fireshot has escaped off into the distance as well. I wonder if Fireshot might be tempted to put on the soft tires and go for fast as that, which I think is held by Troy at the moment, if I'm not very much mistaken. So yeah, Troy on his debut might get a fast lap. Equaling Nico Rosberg, who also got a fast lap on his debut back in the 2006 Bahrain Grand Prix. Back on board with KV at the moment, and KV's had a lot of viewing time, hasn't he, tonight? And I think he's been enjoying it, hasn't he? KV has. He's enjoying enjoy it as much as you can around Monaco. I've got to say, it's oh, and that was damage there. I think that was off the McLaren. It was. I think it was off Jonathan's wing there. And he's got a bit too hot going into the first corner there. And Jonathan's amazing race might be on a disappointing end at this moment then for the British-Italian driver. And we're coming now into Mirabeau as well. And we've also got Sam, who has now got to try and repel a very quick Twitchy who's behind him outside the points at the moment then. So we got some battles really building up, haven't we? Emerson's taken a second out of Eat the Cookie in the last couple of laps there. So Emerson there has really started to put the pressure on with a couple of laps to go there. He's done 22 laps there on those medium tyres. That's a very good effort there from Emerson. There's me debating he might have to go in for another stop. How wrong am I then? So good stuff there from Emerson there. Very much looking after those tyres there, isn't he? In the Renault. Renault on a fantastic day today, isn't they? It was Williams, but it's now Renault there with 2nd and 5th position. McLaren 4th and 6th there. Jonathan has had a glancing blow on the other side of the car now, and he's going to be after carrying that wing there right to the latter stages of the race there. But Jonathan is still keeping up though with Mr. Elite there, because Mr. Elite has done 22 laps on those hard tyres as well. Then they have been on for a very long time, haven't they? There's a lot of mammoth stints going on here in Monaco tonight, isn't there? Look at these laps. We've got 19 laps for Cookie, 22 laps for Emerson. That's on the medium tyres. That is incredible. Far shot, same as well. He's on 19 lap old medium tyres as well, and he's actually still in the ballpark actually of lost souls at the moment, and potentially could sneak on the podium here. Fire shot, brilliant stuff indeed then. And yeah, so Fire shot really having a much better race in qualifying. Mr. Elite on a cracking race in 5th position, same with Jonathan in 6th as well. And 7th position there for KV, as I mentioned on his debut. Titchy's got by Sam. He has got by Sam. Sam is dropped down into the 11th position now. So Titchy has stolen the final point off the Haas driver there with the end in sight. What a shame for Sam there, really battling away. Can he oh, is it Emerson now? I'm not sure if Emerson went in the wall or not there, but no, that's a shame now for Sam, as they were down to 11 cars then. So Sam would be hoping that there's a late casualty here in the Monaco Grand Prix, but of course anything can happen in this race, and it normally does, doesn't it? And we're back on board now then with KV been on board. KV for and Jonathan's got a penalty as well to add to his woes then for the McLaren driver. And look at KV, he's just pushing him out of Rascasse, isn't he? As Jonathan there is really struggling to get on the power now. KV's got much younger tyres as well, isn't he? Of course, he's well, I say much younger. He's got 5 lap younger tyres, but that might prove to be pivotal in the latter stages of this race. Then, what a shame there for Sam there. He was so close to points, and he potentially can still get points. Do not write him off just yet. As now then, as we're coming into Casino Square once again. Now KV is really starting to put the pressure on, isn't he? I think he's fed up with watching that rear wing of the McLaren now. He wants to get by, and big old lockout there for KV, stamping on the brake pedal. And as they come into the Lowe's hairpin. And so as we're coming into the final stretch of this Monaco Grand Prix, the Cookie really has been dominating from start to finish once again, hasn't he? Emerson in a second position there as well. He had to fight his way through some traffic, didn't he, earlier on, but he's having a great stint there on those medium tyres. Into the pits comes Sam, and Sam there's changing tyres. I wonder if he's going to go into soft set. And yeah, he's on the medium tyre until the end of the race as well then. But I think that so hopefully I'll be the last of the pit stop action then. Is hopefully everyone will just be able to keep it clean and tidied out for the remainder of the race. But I don't think Sam wants that to happen, does he? He probably wants someone else to drop out so he can get some points there in his season. As now they're coming through Anthony Nose once again, and Cave having a poor exit of Anthony Nose, unfortunately, which means that he's not going to be on the case, is he, of Jonathan then? But Jonathan is still very much on the case of Mr. Elite then, as we've got 4 laps to go then here in Monaco. And look at that, so just I say that KV wasn't on the case, he really is on the case now, isn't he? He's all over the case of the gearbox of Jonathan, and it come through Casino Square, dropping down the hill. And again, KV looking at the touching, nerfing the diffuser of the McLaren. And luckily there's no car damage on the back of these cars. It's a shame they don't do it, otherwise that'd be really a nifty thing to do, wouldn't it? Of course, so the cars will be much more fragile anyway. And these cars, I got to say though, these cars tonight have been very robust, aren't they? They're taking a bit of a battering around the streets of Monaco, but a lot of the cars are very much very toughened up this season, aren't they? And I think that in terms of this season compared to last season, Monaco is much more. Oh, as Cave has got a penalty as well, and Cave has. What a shame there. Let's see, French Canes, they're going to cost him getting in front of Jonathan there with a couple laps to go. Then lovely shot there from the swimming pool section as well. Then and Jonathan Jonathan there is really starting to struggle now. I think it's 3/10 of a second. Cave locking up as well. He's not caring about the tyres anymore now. He is now starting to let loose. Cave is. Can he get by Jonathan there with 3 laps to go? We're on board now then. He's got DRS. He's got the overtake then. Jonathan's gone the inside then. And there's no way through. You have to have a lot of compliance from the car in front, don't you? As they come up the hill as well. And there's now we're batters of Jonathan there. And there's nowhere up the hill there, is there? We've had a lot of incidents up the hill over the years, haven't we, in ALR? Some interesting ones as well, isn't it? As Jonathan there still defending, isn't he? He is really strong there. As Cave there once again and just driving into the back from, give him a good old nerf there, isn't he? As he's telling him to get on with it, isn't he? But Jonathan there can do whatever he wants there because he's the car in front, as long as he isn't excessively weaving then as well. As Gordo has just come back and just asked what's been happening then. Well, unfortunately, let's have a quick review of the race, shall we? Eat the Cookie has dominated us. Right, oh, come on, a minute, because look at this. As Cave there is very much on it. Jonathan there is trying to squeeze him. Cave is on the inside. Oh my goodness me. And Jonathan is hopping over the curbs. I know Jonathan there is. Look at that then. They're all come to a dead stop there, didn't they? They were so Kane is 2 seconds out of gap as well. We've got damage. That's a Renault damage. I think that's Mr. Elite's damaged car, as we had a bit of end plate come off that Renault as well. As this race is now starting to heat up with 2 laps to go here in ALR. And as round 7, this is, I keep saying round 6, but Mr. Elite damaging this car. Hopefully though that shouldn't cause him too much issues then. With just 2 laps to go then, as the Cave comes across the line once again then. And as they're coming into Sandervoort then, yeah, going back, just on a quick recap then. Oh, Jonathan there getting in too deep into Sandervoort there, and he has to defend this position. He's defending as hard as he can as they're coming up the hill then. And look at this, Jonathan is, oh, Cave is up the inside. He passes Jonathan. The understeer was just too much for the McLaren driver, and Cave is through and up into 6th position there. And his next target is Mr. Elite, who is also walking wounded as well, as he has damaged the end plate on that Renault then. So let's see if Cave can get him into 5th position. He's had a fantastic debut. Cave has really impressive stuff. Keep calling him Cave. KV. He's had a fantastic debut, hasn't he? KV in the Alfa Romeo, and he is scoring all of Alfa Romeo's points tonight. Then with Milan out the race, Garanti out the race as well. Alhan and Leitzen, XR also out the race as well, and Farfu still parked in the pits as well. Unfortunately, then as this has been a very difficult race, hasn't it? But I've got to say this race has been very. I'm really impressed actually with the talent out there. It's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? Really good. There's been some impressive driving then, but now can Cave and get pass on the final stuff indeed then. As Gordo's asked, any heroics into Sandervoort? I think Emerson's got one that has definitely won the Hero of the Day award for that one. He was absolutely incredible in Sandervoort on the outside. I think it was the outside of Nigel, wasn't it? Which is no easy task, is it? There's a reason why Nigel's a world champion, so it's very difficult to get past him at the best of times, especially around Monaco. But he's done absolutely fantastic. But Emerson, absolutely brilliant job, wasn't he? Now, Eat the Cookie there is coming out of Antti Nogues then, and he wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Fantastic, his 5th race win of the season for Eat the Cookie, and really well done indeed then. His 7th race win of his career. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Emerson coming home to finish in 2nd then. Tichy has finished 9th, and Troy is in 10th position as well. So we've got yellow flags there on the start finish straight. Emerson in 2nd then. Lost Souls, a great drive in 3rd position in the end. Fireshot, probably driver of the day today. He has been, of course, he's never shy of an overtake, is he? But good drive from Fireshot from 17th on the grid to finish 4th there. A big surprise there, and away he goes then. And yep, so Fireshot in 4th position then, and now it's at KV. Oh, KV has had a problem. KV's had a major problem then, and he is limping back then. He's always lost a lot of end plate damage. I wonder if him and Mr. Elite there got a bit too close for comfort then. And look at this, Jonathan's got another 3-second penalty. I wonder if Nigel's going to get past Jonathan here, I feel. Now then it's Mr. Elite then coming across the line to finish in a fantastic 5th position. Strong drive from Mr. Elite. KV is going to come through in a career in his debut 6th position then. Jonathan is, Nigel I think has jumped up a couple of positions there, the former world champion then. Yes, Dan is agreeing with me, and I'm quite happy by that. Dan's agreeing with me that Emerson's overtake on the outside was pretty heroic. It really was, wasn't it? Fireshot, no surprise, drive of the day there from 17th to 4th, and that was an absolutely incredible drive from Fireshot. Cookie, 7th race win of his career, and gotta say that this man is marching is marching very quickly now to the World Drivers' Championship, and he is on top of the world again. 5th race win of his season, his 7th race win of his career. Fantastic stuff from Eat the Cookie. And let's go through the final classification then from the Monaco Grand Prix. Emerson and Lost Souls, no penalties at all. Hats off to them. Really good stuff indeed then. Eat the Cookie, as I said, his 7th race win of his career. 5th race win of the season. Emerson in 2nd position there. So Emerson having a better drive today then. And also, really good stuff for Emerson. Can he now can he march on from here? Lost Souls, brilliant drive as well. Up into 3rd position. Lovely stuff. Fire Shot, driver of the day from 17th to 4th. Lovely stuff. 5th position is Mr. Elite in the 2nd round. Renault had a fantastic day today. Nigel in 6th position. 7th position is KV on his debut. That was fantastic. 8th position is Jonathan. Twitchy in 9th. And Troy also on his debut for gold in 10th position. Outside the points was Sam. So close to getting the points. He lost the points position with a couple of laps to go, unfortunately. And he's in 11th position. Retirements, XR, Young Lights, Alhan, Granty, Milan and Fireshot didn't take the start then. And that is your Monaco Grand Prix from Season 4. And it was an absolutely fantastic race. It really was then. Very good stuff. I am joined in the commentary box by the rostrum winners, and let's talk to Eat the Cookie first. Eat the Cookie. Your 7th race win of your career and your 5th of the season now. You're marching on to the title. You seem unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, it's going well. That's it.
Was there any stage of the race where you felt a bit nervous about any of the cars beyond you? Did you think Emerson was going to be a threat towards the end?
No, not really, because of the strategy he was on. He was always going to lose pace in those mediums near the end. I did get wing damage though, which was a bit stupid, but didn't really affect anything. If anything, we just matched pace by then. But at the start of the race, it was helpful knowing that I was quicker on the mediums. And the 2 soft runners behind me, because they were battling away, so it just allowed me to get a gap, and I was able to keep up the walls that way then. No pressure.
Absolutely good stuff indeed then. It's cool as a cucumber. Really well done, Cookie. Let's come to Emerson, who's finished 2nd today, equalled his best result from Australia as well. Emerson, a much better race for you today though. You seem how was it for you then? You seemed like you enjoyed yourself out there. Lovely stuff. Lost for words. He's so happy. I think we might have to leave it there. Unfortunately.
Sorry, I had my mic on mute.
Oh, as you do.
My bad. Yeah. So much for people not being able to overtake around Monaco. I think I made a pretty good move around the outside of Milan in down the hairpin. But yeah, I mean, pretty much kind of race was a bit ruined at the start because the hope was to try and get Cookie into turn 1, but it didn't really work out because I've got a pretty appalling start. But I'm pretty happy with P2 considering the last 3 weeks with the connection issues that I've had. But yeah, hopefully this is the turn around for our season. Well, I mean, Mr. Elite seems to do pretty well for P5 as well, so it's strong points for the constructors as well.
Splendid stuff. Thank you, guys. I don't think there's anyone else in the party yet, so no, that's not. Brilliant. Right then, I think we're going to wrap up here, everyone. It's been a cracking day of racing today here in Monaco. I've got to say, absolutely clean as a whistle. Tomorrow night, we are back in action then for the silver guys then, who've had quite an epic last 2 races, haven't they? I wonder how tomorrow's going to be. Looking forward to that. 7:30 UK time. See you then. But from here in Monaco, it's goodbye for now.